Yes, guys. Yes, people. First thing I want to say is I hope you lot don't hear the drilling outside because these fuckers are back again, ruining my afternoons. But here we are. Smash the like and subscribe button. Big up everyone that's locked in. Welcome back to another stream. Welcome back to another preview. Chelsea versus Leeds. Another game where we shouldn't struggle in, but not necessarily that confident. I'm confident of the result, but in terms of performance, I'm not sure what Chelsea team to expect. Alex, who are you playing with? You're on mute, bro.
I'm trying to give Andrew a cookie. Here, Andrew.
Andrew, you taking a cookie? You man were telling me to stop chewing by the end of the stream, and now look who's chewing. I can't be asked. Oh, man's back on mute again. It's cool. But big up everyone that's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. Graham says drilling Johnny outside trying to cut surfers' Wi-Fi cables again. Hate to see it. I can't be asked. Fucking hell. At least Goham's come in with immediate smoke. Let's hope Chelsea come in with immediate smoke tomorrow as well. But smash the like and subscribe button. Let's know what you guys are saying. And let's get into the stream as well. Scott, what are you saying, bro, after the last few days? How you been?
I've not been too bad. Still seeing all the fallout from the game. I think you're right. We shouldn't be struggling against this Leeds, regardless of our form. This Leeds team is nowhere near at full strength, missing their, two of their best players. We should be winning. If we don't win, then serious questions need to be asked of this team.
It's not even just a win, though. I need a convincing win after the last
few
games.
Obviously. I want to win. I want to win in a clean sheet first and foremost. We can win that game 1-0 and I'm calm.
Hear you on that. Bleeding Blue, what are you saying, my guy? You all good?
Last couple of days have been calming down, but then I realized Chelsea's back on Saturday. Then my anxiety's going up. I'm like, please do not ruin my weekend again. Just let me be happy this Saturday.
Trust me. Everyone's saying the exact same thing where we should be winning, but I'm not too sure what Chelsea we see. Winter Surfer, what are you saying, bro? You all good?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm in agreement with Scott. We should get a good result against Leeds because they got a ton of injuries. Plus, I don't rate this Leeds team anyway. So I think even with our situation, we should rack up a few goals. I'll be disappointed if we draw or lose. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. It's good to beat Leeds anytime. So.
I'm looking forward to the game only because it's the first time with a full crowd. And I do want to see the Chelsea-Leeds rivalry face-to-face. Yeah. But look, I'll go into in the stream, but I'm not 100% confident in this game. I'm just more confident of us going for a win. Dan, switch the stream off, please. Alex, what are you saying, bro?
I'm actually going to agree with Scott and Andrew. And going to say we need, I think, more thing I'm looking from this game. It's a stability. Like not giving up no chances, not giving up. Like it should be a stable back. If we start in the lineup, like this is our number one starting lineup should be Thiago, Rudiger, and Christensen. That's our number one lineup. We should not concede goals under any circumstances. So I think clean sheet is important, but I think it should be. I don't care if it's a 1-0 win, as long as it's a stable thing. We played well in the game.
Yeah, all right, cool. There we go. Yeah, Daniel, you're good as well, man. What are you saying?
All right, bet. It's Leeds, man. We should thrash these guys. They play into our hands. They play the exact way we want them to play. The one team that actually comes out and presses us and tries to actually play with us. And have we lost to them yet? Have we even drawn? I think we beat them.
Yeah, we drawn.
No, but like we say the one team, but West Ham came and played with that same mentality as well. And we struggled.
West Ham did this. The Watford game is the kind of the closest thing you can get where it's a similar situation. They're going to press. Their backline is shit, but we saw against Watford, we struggled, and we probably will lose that if they take their chances. If they take their chances, then we lose that, but they didn't.
Yeah, if our backline is playing like shit again, then whatever we say doesn't really matter. But if they're playing well, and because my thing is, Leeds are going to try to play out the back. That's the one thing you're almost guaranteed of. Every single time they're going to try it. So I expect us to press them high and them to lose the ball, which always happens.
Yeah, I was speaking with KG for his channel yesterday. If you guys don't know, I'm a big Leeds United fan, and he's been saying that Leeds United have been a bit more pragmatic over the last few days. They have got the ability to play out and give you guys a game, but they have sat deep a lot more and been a lot more reserved in their play, especially over the last few weeks. And also now Patrick Bamford's out with another injury. He was my main worry
You also
going
parking
into
the
this game.
bus?
Not
And
parking the
to be
bus,
fair,
but playing more
I'm
defensive.
kidding. I'm joking.
it doesn't surprise me considering the injuries they've had this season. Like you mentioned, Bamford's been out, and he is basically the guy they play through. They create so much just for him. You look at Calvin Phillips is now out. You also look at the fact their backline this season has been a mismatch of left back of centre backs playing on the wing as a fullbacks, wingers playing as fullbacks, centre mids playing as centre backs. Like it's a mess. So it doesn't really surprise me. And the fact that, as I said, they've got 3 guaranteed starters and their second choice striker out for the game tomorrow. We should be winning.
That's the thing. This should be a win. I'm just worried about how we manage the game, because my main issue isn't the defense.
Okay.
It's more the midfield and the transition, because the defense will only be in trouble if we put more pressure onto it. If we're stable in the midfield, if we're stable in the wing backs positions, the defense isn't going to be that much of a problem. But the midfield's looking weak already. The other options without Kovacic and Kante aren't really good enough, in my opinion. Well, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, it all depends on his game. Jorginho, Tuchel said in his press conference, is going to be playing through pain, which means he's going to be liable to a few more mistakes in this game, just like he has been over the last few weeks.
It's a fake news. I don't
That's
believe
the area
it.
that's worrying me.
I don't
you saying,
believe
Alex?
that. I don't believe he's injured at all. I think it's a fake news. I think it's just to give a guy. That's the 100% protection of the player. Dropping
Really?
form. I think so.
Well, I mean, we say that, but he was dropped against you. I mean, we saw the midfielder played against Zenit. If he's fit, then I think he plays that game. The thing is, if you don't
he didn't even go to the game.
But I'm saying that if he is fit, he would play in that game. And you see, he keeps coming in and out of games at the minute where he'll be injured for 1 week.
It's just my Scott. I'm not saying it's 100%. You take my word. I'm saying that's what I feel that happening, because you can be not available one and just be available another one. You can clearly see he was deep in the form. Of course, he's gonna say it's it's an injury. That's just my opinion. I think it's a fake injury. He's protecting his player.
I'm trying to look at a few of the direct quotes on it to see if I can get anything that could give me anything about the result.
He was just rested. He just needed the rest. That's all it was.
I would say, regardless of the midfield we have, Leeds midfield will consist of Click, Forshaw, and someone else. If we can't combat a midfield with that, as I said, they haven't got Phillips. They were at their first choice centre mid. Then I'm sorry. If Ruben Loftus-Cheek and whoever plays next to him can't combat that, then you ain't this level. You're not at this level if you can't combat that. I'm sorry. If you can't combat a fucking Leeds midfield with a championship player, and albeit a very good midfielder, but has been in and out of the team at the minute, then I don't want to hear then you're not at this level.
It's fair enough, isn't it? Because this has been a very poor Leeds United
It's the same as Barkley goes in there. I don't want to see it, but if he goes in there, then there needs to be a level of performance.
I think Robin Loftus-Cheek was coming in there, I think.
Oh, no, I agree, but say it's like Ruben and Barkley. If Jorginho
is there, Barkley starts another game.
I agree, but what I'm saying is it doesn't matter. It's like with Zenit, there's a few things. Like they're a regular Champions League team. They've got players in that midfield who are experienced in terms of playing at a good level. You've got a midfield where, as I said, you've got Click, who is an international. Fair enough, he's good, but he's been in and out of the team. And you've got Forshaw, who's a championship player at best. He's a squad player for them. If you can't beat that, then I don't want to see you in a Chelsea shirt again, because you're obviously not good enough for us if you can't beat that midfield.
After subject, remember I asked you to watch number 7 for Zenit? Any of you would like him at Chelsea?
No, because we do this too often where we go and buy someone just because of a performance they have against us.
Nice try, Redneck. Nice try.
I can remember number 7 actually.
He's the one who
he's
scored
the one that
every
scored the
goal.
goal.
Apart from that banger, did he impress you guys?
Oh, he scored the third one.
He had a
I can't
few
remember.
nice moments, like his.
He almost scored the header. It was a good save from Kepa. Did you see that header?
I thought it
He
was
had a few nice
another player.
moments.
He's not
but
coming to Chelsea, redneck. Forget it.
Fuck you, and your yellow butt.
This ain't no Minamino situation with Liverpool.
Just
you know
mad because you can't drive it. That's all you mad about. I get it.
Yeah.
I think he wasn't actually his best because his best off the striker. His best when he plays with a strong striker. He's really good, guys. I want him. But anyway, let's move on. Going back. Everybody.
Yeah, because the
Go
first
ahead, Lewis.
the first worrying thing isn't just the midfield. Then you got to take into account what Tuchel said about complacency over the last few games. If we take a lead, we need to actually be able to hold on to it. We can't let our heads drop. And it's weird because I don't know what individuals to pinpoint as the ones that fall apart after we take a lead, but it's definitely a team problem, and it's definitely a problem that's been around over the last few years because it's not just Tuchel that said it. Lampard said it before. We've had Sarri question the team's mentality. Even back in the Conte days in his last season, he questioned our mentality, and it's kind of coming into question again. I don't know the root cause of this, but we're
managers
becoming yet
always
another
say-
team that isn't complacent.
They always say
It's
that
a December. It's a Chelsea in December. Chelsea in December.
But no, let's be real, Lewis. Managers always say this, like they're complacent, they're this, they're that, they're not motivated. To save face, it's like that's your job, though. You're supposed to motivate them. You're supposed to keep them on point. So it's like if every manager says that, I wouldn't take it as these because these are different players. I wouldn't
But then
take it
it's
as these players are
some of them
somehow not ready or whatever it is. Cause I'll just it's just what managers say. Generic,
No, I'd agree with that if it
American.
wasn't so many managers in the last few years. And it has been players that have come in and gone in that period,
gonna
but then
say,
it just says it's a bigger problem with the team at the time.
But also as well, there are some players that have been here through that whole time. Like this is not me saying these are the causes, but you look at Alonso, Christensen, Rudiger. Who else has been here that whole time?
Kante.
You've got, Kepa's been here a large part of that.
Kante.
You've got, Jorginho's been here a large part of that. Kante, like it's not a Kovacic. It's not necessarily to say these guys are the cause of it, but there are still some players here that have been through it all. And I don't think there are any specific players. I think it's just a team thing. I think you see it from everyone. You see it from Jorginho, like in the Watford game. You see, not the Watford game, sorry, the West Ham game. You see it from players like Barkley against Zenit or Ruben Loftus-Cheek against Watford. Like, it's this. They think they've got more time on the ball, or they think they've got. They're not mentally shot, like they're not on the ball mentally the whole time. They're letting themselves have lapses, and you can't do that at the top level. You can do that if you play for no disrespect, but you can do that if you play for a Brighton or if you play for like a Newcastle or a Norwich. You can't do that at the top level. It doesn't matter
you know
what
what's
you
crazy?
play for.
A lot of those mistakes that you keep mentioning are from those experienced players, like the players you shouldn't expect that from. And I think if he is talking about certain players that have been here, he would be talking about those guys, in some way. I think it's just a general statement, but when you look back at when we've had horrible runs, the guys that you mentioned have been key parts in it. Alonso, number one, he's been terrible for a long time. You remember what he did with Lampard? He went to the bus because he was taken off at halftime, right? We see Kepa refuse to come off when the manager told him to. We have players who feel they're bigger than they actually are. So I can understand that, and it's players who are not really that good. Like, why do you think you can go on the team bus because you've been taken off at halftime? What gives you that level of confidence to even do that?
Can you imagine JT as a captain and Kepa doing that thing?
No, JT told you.
JT said he'd drag him off.
I'll drag him off.
And I don't blame him. But this is the problem. I feel like there are too many players in our team or not too many players. There's a few players in our team who I feel as though if something goes against them, it never feels like they take responsibility or take onus of what they've done. Like if they play shit, it's never what could I do to improve. It's never what could I do. What have I done wrong in that game as to why the manager has taken me off, or if they've done what they've done. It always seems to be projected out rather than looking inwards. Like you look at Alonso, you look at Kepa, at least like he's gotten better at it, but how he used to be with Sarri and then with Lampard and whatnot, like there doesn't feel to me that to be too much of like looking inwards and go, right, what am I doing wrong? What can I improve upon?
No, I do hear you on that, and I think it's a difference of mentality from John Terry's era to now. Because John Terry's era, I feel like the players were a lot more. What's the word? Because I know
Mature.
that
On
not
job.
even mature, more responsible for the team and for leading the team as well. Because it's not just John Terry that used to speak about. It's Terry, Lampard, Drogba. They always used to speak about how players would always be getting at each other at half time.
It was
There'd
the
be
core. It
fights,
was the
there'd be
core.
boots getting thrown around, and they
Well, we
always hold players accountable for their
we
mistakes. I
had
don't know if it happens as much now in this
we
era.
I don't
had
think it
we
does,
had
and I
big
think this
names.
goes.
We had big names in the club back then. It
I
was
don't.
Drogba who could speak. It was Lampard. It was Peter Cech. It was big personalities in the.
Yeah, but
That's why some
we can't
coaches
also
got fired.
underestimate. Sorry, we can't underestimate how important Jose Mourinho was in building that like mindset in those guys to be
Yeah,
able to like because basically all of them kind of had a it's us versus the world, so they always had to play well. They always had to push themselves to be better than the
yeah.
rest of the teams and everything else. And it was like there was a self motivation factor there. But Jose Mourinho at his prime was probably one of the best motivators that there ever was. Like, because he pushed them to want to win every
Yeah.
single game. Like,
It's not
Don't
so
you?
even just
this is where
Mourinho as well.
Tuchel
Like
kind of builds his core.
It,
The
in
older
it's
the other
guys,
his.
day,
forget those guys. Like Alonso, Aspie. Like, listen, those guys are done. But you need to build that core within the guys, the younger guys that you currently have. The Reece James, well, Chilwell is injured, but those type of guys, Reece James, Mount, Havertz, kind of have to build that in them because the rest of those guys have never had it.
yeah. The thing is, though,
They've
we
been here
need that
7 years.
experience. You need that experience, but you need it in areas where it's going to work. Like the people we've talked about in terms of experience, like are Alonso and Aspie, who at the minute are bit part players and don't strike me as the type of guys who are going to do. You know what John Terry did under Conte's first season, where he didn't play a lot, but you knew he was always affecting things behind the scenes. Same with Silva when he was injured when he was at the team like last year. Like you saw those videos of him during I can't remember what game it was when he was trying to coach the team from the sideline. I
Atletico
never feel
Madrid.
like our experienced players, when they're dropped or when they become bit part players, are doing much to affect
No,
the team.
they get upset and go to the board. It sounds like with some of
That
these
well,
guys, like one
that's a new generation. That's between me and the people who was born in 2000. It's the same freaking thing. Like every time, like you get a trophy, you get a trophy, you get a trophy. That's kind of generation now. Now, when Mourinho goes and says Pogba has more worried about his hair color in on Instagram than he worried about how he's playing. That takes effect like cancel culture. Simple. It's a different kind of approach in as a coach nowadays. It's a different kind of approach.
I feel like
That's why
social
Mourinho
media allows you to focus more on pinpointing on irrelevant things, to be honest. Like, this
exactly.
wouldn't
That's
be a
why
debate 15 years
I
ago.
hear that,
Ferg-
but Liverpool have like I
Ferguson.
think Liverpool's
Let me
players have that.
finish. Do what?
They have that mentality that we're trying to build in our players. They have that, right? And they don't. I don't think Klopp is like an openly brazen and asshole manager that Jose is, but he has the same. He builds the same level of trust within them and gets them to play 100% for him all the freaking time, even when they're tired and blah blah blah, and even when they had
But
that dip, like
yeah, but
you
Daniel,
know what
that
I mean,
comes
like
from the mentality of the players they've got. You look at players like Robertson or Trent, who are dickheads. Like when they're playing football, like you've seen the stuff Robert used to do.
Yeah,
When they were
yeah.
everything.
He's a
You look
dickhead.
at Henderson, like for the amount of people to shit on his technical ability, I'm including that. Technically, he ain't that good. He's quite average. But in terms of a leader, there's no question how good he is. And you look at players like Fabinho, like Van Dijk, like you've got these
there
leaders
you
and you've
go, the
got these like
experience.
Yeah.
Scott,
Well,
the
he
experienced players
also had the
don't
4
fuck up.
years to build his team. He also had 4 years to build his team.
No. I want to go back to what
Yes,
Scott
yes, yes.
said, right? When he said, no, I mean, I get that. But the point I'm making is the experienced players for Liverpool are what really carry them when they're struggling or when they have injuries or when they have blah, blah, blah going on. Those players don't falter. You know what I mean? Like when they need those players, like Henderson, if Henderson has to play center back, which he did last year for a long time, when he has to play DM and he's not playing his actual role, when for Fabinho's injured, Van Dijk is injured, you had mistakes from the likes of Phillips and like the younger players were fucking up, not their experienced players. When it comes to us, it's like can I really say the exact same? I think it's the opposite. I
Yeah.
think for us, more than not, is our experienced players that are like the ones who you don't expect that from, are the ones passing back to the goalie and messing up, trying to do what was Barkley trying to do in the middle of the freaking pitch.
What he
I
normally
just saw
does.
a clip today. I saw a clip today of Thiago, and he does that little turn every time. Does he think he's Thiago?
I guess.
But that's Barkley. That's the type of thing you're going to get from Barkley, and it's why we want him
But you
gone.
shouldn't. You're 25.
I agree, but then
26.
this goes back to the thing I said about where it's like this. If this is the level of experience we've got, and it's not all the experience because you've got Rudiger, you've got Silva, you've got Jorginho most of the time. Obviously, in the minute he is in terrible form or is in poor form, but most of the time when the team is at his best and he is at his best, he shows a little that leadership. But apart from those things, the experience in our team doesn't show me that leadership more like consistently. It's really hit and miss.
Right. Sorry, I didn't even read a few of these super chats. Reggie Fort says rewatch Zenit game. AC disaster class, shocking. That group of disaster classes is what it is. But if we're basically on his standards, yeah, it was a bit of a disaster class. Official Y1B says, would you guys play Werner, Lukaku, and Mount tomorrow? We'll do the lineup in a little bit, but I think that's the one we end up picking on Gem Stream anyway. Reggie Thoughts also said core of that LFC team is years deep with Klopp now. That could be a problem as well. We haven't had a manager that stayed for a long period of time to put that mentality in the squad. Everyone's always lasted about a year or two.
We say that, but correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he make the Europa League final in his first year?
I think he
yes,
did,
but like we've always said, the Europa League's an easier competition to go.
Even so, at the time, you look at the Liverpool team he had, like the likes of Sacco, the likes of Alberto Moreno, Lucas Leiva, who was past it. Like the level of the players he had was terrible, but they got to the Europa League final.
We did not think that we have a good squad last December.
But I also think that was the way we were playing that put that mentality in our heads. Because as soon as Lampard said the team we had didn't have the quality to win the league, I said, no, it's not the team, it's you. You're the problem.
What he said was hold up. What he said was we're not ready to compete. And at that point, I was done with him at that point.
I was done way before that.
No, I hear that, but we can't say that now, can we?
Yeah, I would say
we can't then turn on the same players and say, well, you know, their mentality is messed up and blah blah blah, because we weren't saying that then.
No, exactly. My point mainly is like I think we're questioning the wrong type of mentality in the squad when we're injury ridden, because if we were doing this with our full starting 11, then questions would need to be fully asked about the whole team. But because it's injury stricken Chelsea and we're back to our French players doing this crap again, I'm going to give them a tiniest bit of a pass.
I don't question the mentality of the first choice players. The mentality I'm questioning mainly is the fringe players, because it shouldn't matter what level you are in the pitch. Like I was thinking about this earlier. I look at a player like Bernardo Silva, and I use City a lot as the measuring stick for comparisons, because you look at the squad they've built. Like they've probably built the best squad in Europe in terms of how you've got two first 11s who could potentially challenge for the league. Like there's probably the most complete squad in Europe. And you look at a player like Bernardo Silva, who last year wasn't playing all that much. He was bench player a lot. He wasn't when he was playing. He had a good season, not a great season, but he wanted to leave. Athletic Madrid came in and said 50 mil. City didn't want that. They wanted 70. He didn't go. He's come in this season and he's not complained. He's not thrown his toys out the pram. None of that shit. He's come back into the side and he is their best player by far. He has had an amazing season. And I look at players like on our team, some fringe players, and I look at it and go, you're not going to do that. The only player I've seen that from, so far this season, I'd say, like you've seen it in bits and pieces. The only person I'd say I'd seen it from a consistent basis was Cho, in terms of he came in, took his chance, and he ran with it. Apart from that, Ziyech is showing it a little bit, Werner showing it a little bit, but there's none of our fringe players I look at and go, you're going to have that same mentality coming in. I look at Barkley and I go, like you play well as a sub, but every time you start, you look like you can't be bothered. I look at players like Alonso and I go, you had a really good start to the season when you were doing the basics, right? Can't you? Oh, Chilwell as well. So I was mentioned. I forgot Chilwell. But then you look at Alonso and you go, why can't you do the basics well now, like you were doing at the start of the season? I look at Aspi the same. I look at Sarr. I understand he's young, but you're making mistakes that defenders at any level shouldn't make. And I can't understand why these players come in and they can't seem to. I don't even want to have the same level technically, but they have the same like level mentally. They don't look as though they're anywhere near the same level mentally as the players they're replacing.
Did you put your picture on Andrew? Is that you over there?
Yeah, that's Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh
Can't be
my,
on.
Andrew, why?
He's
Let
coming.
him
He's
rest.
coming in January, my man. Deal
Let
with
him
it.
rest.
You will pay for your crimes.
You will exactly. Anyway,
If
what
we
I was
can
trying.
even hear us.
Oh, Lee
I
Chappie's
have-
in the stream.
Go ahead to
Big up
read
Lee
this
Chappie.
super
Is
chat
he?
and
Yeah, Lee
I'll-
Chappie's in the stream.
Is he actually? I don't think he is.
I saw
I
him.
can't see his stream. I can't see his face. Am I
He's-
blind or something?
Yeah, he's right above the link.
No, he's
Is he?
not.
I don't think
No,
he
he's
is.
not.
No,
Is that a fake Lee Chappie?
Nah, I don't see him.
No, there isn't a Lee.
there isn't.
go ahead read this super chat, Lewis, and I'll.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
say something.
rumors about Rudiger earning about 300k. Look at Sky Sports Premier League. We've seen that. That's why I've kind of accepted over the last month or two that he's not signing a new contract. But what he wants is the best deal possible for him right now, and it's not going to be at Chelsea. Is what it is.
I said it
I
in
don't
the
think-
summer. He's not coming. Let it go.
It's done.
I will say I don't think the fact that because I've seen people say, "Oh, this is what he wants." I don't think this is necessarily just a case of what he wants and that's it. I think it's a case of
It is. Big up yourself, Lee. My guy. What are you saying, man?
I think it's a case of that's what clubs are willing to pay him. I think what he wants is the 250 that was reported, or whatever it was.
Yeah,
but
you take the
it's
200 from Chelsea
yeah.
if it was there.
Yeah, but it's the fact clubs are willing to pay him 400k. Like, I'm not turning that down if I'm Rudiger. If a club wants to pay me 400k a week, then cool. Like, go ahead. I'm not going to turn it down.
So I
Lee,
had
no,
the, I
Yo,
had the-
Lee, at least you guys are going to have another European trophy at the end of the season. Don't worry, my bro. There's positives out of it. Plus, you might beat Spurs. So look at that.
They got to get through first.
Go on,
Let
Alex.
me- so there's a couple of things I wanna say about. I saw a couple of people coming on different people's streams and saying the things like a depth squad and like how we played the B team versus Zenit and all that stuff. Let's get a little bit of facts about the B teams, who's not the B team, and blah blah blah. If you saying on the level of who's the B team or not. So, for example, we play in double sixes, right? Double pivot. So, to be a B team, you will need 2 players from the bench. That's a B team. C team, it's third after that. So, for example, if we play, who's a number 1 starters, and if everybody's fit, who's a number 1 starter?
Probably right now, I'd say Kovacic and Jorginho.
Exactly. Kovacic or Jorginho, this is A team. The B team will be
Ruben and Kante, probably.
Ruber and Kante. So we didn't play B team versus Zenit. We played C team, which is nobody has a C team on the bench.
I think that's D team, actually.
Huh?
It might be D team because Reece James was forced in midfield.
Yeah, Robert, exactly, because Chalaba could play in this position as a C team. And who else we have that could have played better in that?
Chalaba in midfield might be our D team, to be honest. We could have been looking at an E team or some shit.
Exactly.
Like,
So
it was really iffy.
Do people understand what the B team means? B team, it's the second is a second. Nobody actually has more than B team in their squad. So if you go on other people's streams and saying that like people Chelsea fans that overrate their bench, you are completely out of your depth. It's not that. It's the position, how many players you have behind for a specific role. One player injured, that's already a problem. 2 player injured, it's a catastrophe. We have 4 people injured in the same position. Nobody heard of that before. Do people understand what that means? That's number one.
Jappy, for fuck's sake.
What you said? We drew because
Exactly.
the stadium wasn't heated. Oh fuck
Yeah.
it hell.
And Ziyech should be sold in January. But that's the reason. Another thing, in the forward position, we never knew what our starting 11, starting front three was. We never knew because we had the late people coming in the summertime, and we have a massive player that plays in the number 1, which is Lukaku. We still don't know how to play with him because we played with false 9 for a long period of time. Then, when it's time to get to that comfortable zone with our number 9, he gets injured, with some other players get injured. So when do you expect us to get good with Lukaku if we never had time to get good with Lukaku? You cannot make it in a practice field because it's no time for that to do it. You're doing it best when you play against opponents. And the preseason, that's how you test it, which Lukaku did not have. Now we're going back to the defense. The defense is we're playing back 3 and 2 in the pivot because we're protecting our back 3 with those 2 deep. So, for example, if alphabet people, sorry, I said that wrong. A double pivot, not A, B, C, probably D team, was not good, and the protection we're losing for not even starting 3. That's how you get disaster of Zenit and the past 2 or 3 games. We're not having disaster as a team. We're having disaster as injuries. So get in your head when you go into other people's stream and saying Chelsea doesn't have a good squad as people think. We have most important things. It's Rudiger position, left back position, because we do not have a depth on the Chilwell and Rudiger. That's the only 2 positions. The rest of them we overcovered. My final point: Barkley wasn't supposed to be on a team. We did not supposed to have D team and a double pivot. Barkley is supposed to go on loan. Chalaba supposed to not be in this team either. Turns out he was good. That's the reason why he was here. Saul was signed because we let the kid go to on the loan. That's why Saul came. We did not buy him. We signed him as on loan, which is cheaper. Another thing, and those signings, people likes to say blame Chelsea scouting department. Like scouting department is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Saul needs to be scouted? The 25 years old is scouted. How do you find what scouted was not? The scouting, it's when you scout the player that been unknown and he was made discovered. That's how you scout.
You still need to scout every player.
Yeah, I think
That's
Sal
not
was
how it
scouted
works.
by Chelsea for 2 years before we ended
Yeah,
up getting him on loan.
No, what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is, it's not how we used to be that people go on the stadiums and watch the players how they play and blah blah blah. This happens on teenage levels when those people go and watch them play. Now with internet and all the access that we have, they do not travel, so they look at the data. That's how they do it. At least I can say it how they do it in NFL and the college. So for me, the guy that represents Saul, he went to the market and said, hey, my client is available to go on loan and blah blah blah, and the club's looking at it. It's not like we've been going and like looking at his stats and everything, how he plays. It's his manager that tell clubs that he's available. That's how it goes with adults players. With youngsters it's different, but we as Chelsea, we never will give a youngster time to develop and a starting 11. I think it's a big minus for Chelsea, but this is how our clubs run and been run for past 15 20 years since Abramovich took it over. So if you're not happy with that thing, that means that you're not happy with all the trophies we won since Abramovich. This is how we won. We literally put the first 11 and put it for them to start playing. I hope it makes sense because I think my English is not as good.
Yeah, I think you're saying like it's not really the responsibility of building that mentality isn't really on the managers because they haven't really got the longevity in the side to do it. It's about the
Exactly.
players that have stayed throughout that. But maybe it's also because we've been in transition for a few years. So we
Yep.
haven't really been in a position to have a set squad
Consistently.
for that long period of time. Yeah.
Or consistently win.
Yeah,
the major
because like
trophies.
we've changed our squad a good amount
Somebody
of time.
called
in the
it
last few
monologue.
years.
Love it.
Yeah, we're just going off on a tangent at this point, but it's a fair discussion to make because I do think it's a case of the manager not having any longevity, and the players also. There's not been a set group of players like it was with the old guard, with the Lampards and the Terrys and the Ashley Coles, where we just put 1 or 2 extra players in at a certain time. We've seen like 4 or 5 players come in and out of
Yeah.
the squad at
I
random
will
periods.
say, I will say just on the point of scouting, our scouting is shit, and it has been for a while.
Yeah, I would
our
also agree
scouts
with that.
horrific. I've seen
I
Scott
think, I think,
McLachlan
I
get
think
so
the
much
scouting. You can't say
slander.
that. You can't say that because look at the youngsters. Who scouted them?
Okay.
Who scout the
name-
youngsters?
What
But
youngsters?
what about
though?
the players for the main
Exactly. You
team?
don't scout adults like when
You
people
do
say
though. Otherwise, there's no point having scouts. Like, you need to have scouts to view players, to view what they're good at, to view the attributes they have that fit the team. And I think the fact that like you look at the Saul thing, like I need to know who else this guy scouted as well. The Scott McLachlan or whatever his name is. I need to know who else he has scouted for Chelsea because I want to see if there's a pattern that has emerged.
I think,
And it's like you look at just some of the players we've brought in over the years that like Werner doesn't suit the system we wanted to play. You look at like even players that have worked like Chilwell at the
He's been
time,
our head scout since 11-12.
but like you look at like Chilwell for example. At the time, it seemed like he's done really well since he's come to us, and I'm not annoyed that
So
we got him.
is
But
it
at the time, it's like we went and got him for like 50 mil, and it's like you didn't need to pay 50 mil for a left back or a left wing back of that quality. It's just that's the one we wanted. And it's like we don't like you look at Kepa, the whole situation with that. It's like just go and find a keeper that's going to be better for like half the price. It's like we don't scout the only player we've actually scouted properly.
I'll jump on your point. I'll jump on your point.
The only player we've scouted properly was done by our technical director,
Mendy.
Yep.
What I'm
Who's
saying?
who's in Menalo?
Look. Can I?
Guys. Who's in Menalo?
He was
used to be a director. He used to be a
he was
scout,
around before
chief,
2018.
Yeah, he used
but
to
then
be.
he became a director, and then he left for Monaco. My point is, we have problem with the people that buy us players for starting 11 on the main team. The scouting department of kids, that's the scouting department. You can't tell me to scout Chilwell. It's the biggest accomplishment scouting. This is not scouting. That's watching Premier League. That's like I could have told you that Chilwell is good. Like you can watch the games and you can tell which players are decent who can make it. Isn't it right? Scouting, it's the kids. It's
We
the
can,
talent.
but I think there's different types of analysts and scouts. One
And
younger,
it's more than just watching on the screen because many people will tell you watching it in the stadium or watching on the screen is two very different things. You get a different picture of things. You get to see. Say I'm focusing on a left back, just because the nature of football. I'm not going to get to see the left back the whole game if it's on the TV because the camera won't always be focused on him. But in the stadium, I can watch him. I can see how he deals with stuff like transitions, in possession, defensively, one-on-ones, in the air, etc., etc. And scouting isn't just scouting youth players. Scouting comes to all players. It doesn't matter if they're 37 or 27 or 17. It's all ages.
I'm just saying it's a different. I think it's a different scouting between. I don't know how to explain it. I think scouting teenager that nobody knows from village, nobody knows like and stuff like that.
Go AM. Oh my god.
No, what I'm saying is like Southampton scouting, Southampton scouting. That's a scouting because they got the players that our team just goes and buys because they see them good. That's what I'm saying.
Fuck. Right, Reggie Thoughts also says, did any of Sal's crosses make it into the box? Scrub. There might have been one.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, there might have been one or two. I don't think his crossing was the biggest problem. It was more positioning and passing under pressure. That's
No,
where he was.
his passing was good. It was defensively he was the issue, but
Yeah, he was
he's
bullied
not
off
a
the ball
defender,
easily.
so
Yeah, it
Like,
might not have
Russian
been
league,
more of a case of
Russian
Enkono,
league
I
is
felt better
physical.
along
Russian
there.
league is physical.
it's
Yeah,
not even just that. It's
definitely gives off that vibe.
like,
One sec.
he wasn't great defensively, but like the thing that I liked was the thing I haven't seen from Alonso in I don't think ever, and that's like quick movement.
Did you see him come back and put the block on that shot at the
I
end?
did,
that
yeah.
got
But like
the
you look
corner?
at like
Yeah,
the
it
first
was
couple of
impressive
minutes.
actually.
You
He
look at
has the
talking of
pace.
impressive. You look at the first couple of minutes, that movement he did where he got into the box. It's like I don't see that from Alonso enough because he's not able to because his mobility is shit. That's just how it is with Alonso, and it's like that's what I'm used to with Chilwell, where he's got that interchange and he can get into the box.
Sometimes when Alonso makes 360 turn with the ball, it drives me nuts. I just want to punch the TV.
Yeah, he never goes for the overlapping winger. He always goes sideways and backwards.
Well,
Constantly.
because he's afraid to get caught in the transition. Because
Yeah.
if he mispasses, he needs to run back, and he knows that he needs to run back.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to run back, so he will make the safest pass just to ignore the get caught out of possession.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Also, back on scouts for a second. Put only our scouts only look at high profile players. We don't look at underrated signings. That I completely agree with. When was the last time we actually signed like a guy that nobody talked about, and we turned him into?
This is exactly what I'm talking about. The scouting. For me, this is the scouting. When you sign a player that nobody knows, and he becomes good. For me, if we sign Salah, that's not scouting. You see what I'm saying? That's not scouting.
No, that's cool. But this is the. I think I've said this before. We as fans need to take some issue with this as well, because I think some of it comes down to the fact of like some fans are not happy if the big name doesn't get signed. So, like for example, you look at strikers. The three people that were mentioned were Kane, Lukaku, and Haaland. No one wanted anyone apart from that. No one wanted anyone else. It didn't matter that Haaland was going to cost like 500 mil or whatever it was with all the added fees. Lukaku, everyone ripped into because he didn't have a touch, and Harry Kane, it's going to cost so much. What am I going to deal with us? It didn't matter because they were the big names. It didn't matter that there was probably someone else, like you could have got a Vlahovic from Fiorentina who probably fit our system a bit more, but wasn't the big name. It didn't matter that there was probably someone out there in, I don't know, in Ligue 1 who played for a mid-table team that would probably fit the system a bit better. It didn't matter because they were the big names. And we have too much of this in us and this is all fans because it happens in all positions. Like when the whole thing of the goalkeeper came out, everyone wanted Oblak or everyone wanted like a Donnarumma, the big name.
Oh, Nana.
Mendy, no one thought about.
That's what I'm saying. That's not much of scouting, is it? That's what I'm saying.
I think scouting does happen though in our team. Like you look at Saul, where that wasn't a player that people really thought about. It's just
he was the 200 million price tag on him 2 seasons before that.
Oh, when he was at form, yeah, but I'm talking when we actually signed him. But we have too much of this where we want to just sign the big name and we don't actually look like everyone loved it when we signed Werner. But then you actually deep it and look at it and go, he literally doesn't fit our system because we don't play counter-attacking and we haven't for 4 years.
Yeah, well, we signed Lukaku, and the same
Lukaku
thing.
is a bit more diverse because I've seen him play possession. I've seen him play possession a bit more, but Werner has never played possession football in his life.
Yeah, when I saw that we want him, I knew it. I knew it will be tough because every time he played in Bundesliga, the games that he scored, the defense line is way high, and that's why Liverpool after him.
I was going to say the whole point that the team when he played for Leipzig, like under Rangnick, under Nagelsmann, and who else, their whole game was get the ball quickly and release it quickly on the break. It was press, get the ball back in 8 seconds, release the ball quickly behind the back line. We don't play that. We win the ball back quickly, or we try to, but it's then keeping the ball and trying to break teams down.
Jorginho, exactly.
Yeah,
we get the ball back quick, and then we have to recycle it.
That's a Liverpool team. You win the ball back quick and you break.
Exactly, Liverpool quick turnovers, like turnovers after turnovers. That's Liverpool.
We're not doing what we used to do. Like we've talked about the Lampard, Drogba, Terry, all that lot. Check. Look at when we signed them, who they came from, and what their status in world football was. You had Frank Lampard, who was thought of as not good enough for West Ham at times, but then we signed him, and he turned out to be arguably our best ever player. You look at Drogba, was scoring goals for Marseille, but I don't think his goal record was ever great, and it wasn't ever great to begin with for us. It got better over time. Czech came from Rennes, who I don't remember ever being a massive superpower in France. It's like we're not signing these players that are actually going to fit a system.
Fucking hell,
It's
that's about.
just
For me-
going and signing, okay, that guy scored, I don't know, 25 goals in his league. We'll go and sign him just because he looks good and it'll look good on posters.
For me, scouting is what Mendy is. Peter Cech did the scouting. That's why they tried to make him in this position. He's a director of the technical director, and I think he could be good at it. But he's the one that found it, and that's the scouting. I'm not saying that there's no scouting in the high level. I'm saying it's scouting for me proper. It's find those players like Mendy. You see what I'm saying? I think we're going, like Scott said, for the big names, because when we are looking at the forward position for the specifically last summer, we immediately start to go on for the top names, right? But nobody was actually thinking of like anybody else who could become that person in a year. You see what I'm saying? So for me, that was the poor, like a first team scouting, if there is horrible. But the kids department, you can't say that we are bad scouting, because look at
Absolutely
what the
not.
academy keeps
I agree with
producing.
that. Can I
You
just
see what
say
I'm
two things? Let me just say two things. Go AM, not sure if any of our current patches are even at Matches or Fabregas's level. I agree with that, but
Nah,
do
not
we
yet.
really- Nah, it's not. But do we really need that at this point in time? Because we've been scoring goals without like that cutting edge pass. But I agree with you. I would love to see like a long ball over Lukaku, Werner, Havertz. We just don't got that. We really just do not have that guy who can do that.
I
Colin
think we
says
do.
bad use of
I think
money.
it's
Vlahovic was half the price, bro. Vlahovic wasn't really being looked at in this time in the summer. He's only built up this profile this season. So
No,
now,
last season he was doing he wasn't doing quite as what he was doing this season in terms of overall play, but in terms of goal scoring, he was doing exactly what he's doing this season. Last season, it's just
maybe I just didn't hear it.
this season his all-round play has improved, like his hold-up play, link-up play, in the box, like everything about his all-round play this season has improved. It's just all we saw last season was goals. There wasn't too much in terms of all-round play, but all of that all-round play has improved this year.
Here's the bleeding blue. I always said that the reason why we don't do those passes to the forward is because of Jorginho. And Tuchel said it at the press conference. If you want us to play those quick thing, we will be cutting the transition more often. And that's when he exposed Jorginho. That's why Lampard was the problem. We get cut out in transition really, really quick. And Jorginho's worst player on the pitch when under transition. He just doesn't do well in it.
Just going to point out as well. Just want to point out
Go
something.
ahead,
Rohan, thank you for proving my point.
Rohan,
absolutely, thank you for proving my point.
Exactly.
Not Chelsea level, maybe good for backup.
Based on what?
You see what I'm saying? Like, there's like people think that there's a level.
I don't know.
That's like
more than any of our strikers are right now.
Chelsea is not top 5 clubs in maybe top 5. I'll say Real Madrid.
We're top 5. We're definitely
top 5. But we're not top 3.
That we say top 5. Are you talking about in terms of standing? Are you talking about in terms of how they're perceived, or
like, for example, if the top quality player is available?
Yeah, we're not top 5.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, 100%. We're not top 5.
That's what I'm trying to say. For example, if what's his name, Haaland, all of a sudden is available. If Haaland is available and he available for every club, he doesn't care which club, whoever does it, we are not top 5. That's my
yeah.
I don't know about that, man. Who's top 5 then?
City are above us. Real Madrid are above us.
Jakub, switch the stream off, please.
I don't. Are you sure Real Madrid above us?
Yeah, Real Madrid in terms of perception.
Real Madrid is actually number 1.
In terms of perception to players, for me, you're looking at Real Madrid, Barcelona, City. I'd make the case that United are, just because of like
how big they are.
The fact they are a global sort of
Bayern. Bayern is
organisation.
wait, are we
Bayern, I'd
talking
say, are
about,
above
like,
us, and
the team
then
itself
we might be
or,
fifth.
like, the
We might be
players they
fifth,
have?
but certainly those
Yeah,
4 or 5 teams.
Yeah, I think like the clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona. Well, not now Barcelona, but you know what
Barca
I'm saying.
still are in terms of
It
how
still
they're
are,
viewed.
yeah. As much people keep saying that Barcelona financially in the whole, all we have to do is just go to the bank, or their own bank, because it's the city that owns the banks of Barcelona's bank owns them. They're just gonna give them money no matter what. They will be fine. Believe me, they will be fine.
I don't
So
think
Barcelona, Real
somebody put
Madrid,
we're eighth. I
Bayern,
don't believe that.
what?
Somebody put we're like eighth in the like pecking order. I don't believe that. I don't think we're that far down.
No,
We
no, no,
might
no,
be.
no.
Maybe 6th or 7th, I'd say. Maybe.
I think
We're
like
certainly not. If we are top
I
5, we're 5th.
Huh.
I don't think Liverpool is there. I think Liverpool lost that actually. I think we're
Nah,
above
they're
Liverpool.
still
I'd say
freaking.
us and Liverpool. I'd say us and Liverpool are about on the same level. I'd say us and Liverpool are about on the same level.
Nah, I think their
Because there's a lot
location.
of things with Liverpool. You look at. You could.
No. It's still location.
Oh, I
Yeah,
agree. I
location.
look at in terms of location. Then I look at Anfield, and I look at that. That is a stadium. I feel like players want to play in. And I think you look at. I think that's why I say we're neck and neck. Where I look at, we have the location in terms of London, but then I look at they probably have the stadium over us, and it kind of depends what type of manager they want to play under, what type of team they want to go into. That's why I kind of say we're probably neck and neck. But
Also,
you're
for the people
definitely
who go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry. I'll jump in a second.
Oh, for crying out loud, the cheerleader W is here again.
Anyway, somebody's questioning why City, bro. You're guaranteed trophies. You're playing under the best manager on the planet. You're playing in the
Let's
best
have it
team on the
right.
planet.
You see, cheerleader man.
I'll be back in a sec.
What W go argue with me
Have it
about that?
right.
No, carry on.
Anyway, yeah, best team, you're guaranteed trophies. You're playing under the best coach, and that would be the reason and why they're above us. You're guaranteed silverware at City, where you're going to Chelsea or Liverpool is less guaranteed. Bayern, you're guaranteed. Real Madrid, you're effectively guaranteed something every couple seasons. Who else? Barca, they get their shit together, will be guaranteed something. So yeah,
Chelsea are guaranteed trophies.
We're also guaranteed
No.
trophies, but not on a consistent level of the other like 3 teams above us
We win a trophy every 2 years.
every year. But still,
Yeah,
it's not like the
yeah.
it's not like we were going to win the Champions League every single year like a Real Madrid or a Bayern. We're not going to win the Premier League every season like a Man City will. We're more guaranteed to win a like the second level trophies more consistently than those teams, but we're not going to constantly get the major trophies. We have not won a league title in 6 years, and we went through a 9-year gap of UCL.
Like you said, and it's a big thing. The manager, like Tuchel's great, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't got the longevity and the like stature in world football that Guardiola has. Whether he's better or not is a different argument. But in terms of like the presence in world football and just the image that Guardiola has, most players are going to want to play under him.
He's overrated.
It doesn't matter. As a footballer, you look at what he's done, what he's won, the players he's managed, everything. You want to work under that, regardless of if he's at City, Juve, fucking Ajax, wherever. You want to go and work under that if you've got the opportunity to.
But that's what I was trying to say. That the thing is, if you have like top quality players wants to come, it will be a challenge to get them away from Real Madrid, or you know what I'm saying. So we're not that. We need to look at the players like second tier, third tier, like and like everybody's minds who they are. That's why I'm saying that scouts for for a first team is poor, but scouts for the kids are great. HM, I told you last time what your mom should have done. Oh, Lewis stepped out. So I want to start doing a starting 11 since Lewis went to take a shit.
Wait for Lewis.
We got massively, of course, from the Leeds game.
Yeah.
For the guys who like saying like when Guardiola leaves City they're done. I don't think that's the case. They're still a very good team.
I think their squad's
aging. Their squad's aging.
The
I would
squad
say,
is aging, but
they're not going to play. I won't say, depending on who they get in, they won't. I don't think they'll play at the same level. There will be a little bit of a drop,
Same
but
with
I don't
Liverpool.
think there'll be a complete drop off. It depends
Yeah,
who they
but to
get.
say
into
they're
replace-
going to be done is like a very like.
No, they won't be done because they have money, but
Yeah, but it depends. It depends like who they get in to replace him. Because I think if they get like a Pochettino, then I think they're done. I don't think that he's the guy to replace. But I think if they get a Ten Hag, then I think that it might take them a year where they might have a bit of a drop off. But then I think they can build and then start challenging again.
when Liverpool lose Klopp, they're done.
Yeah, when Liverpool lose Klopp, they're fucked.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Because the drop off of manager for them is going to be way harder to find.
And their squad is so old.
The squad,
Not even-
exactly. The
not even
squad
that,
is
the-
really, really old.
It's
Yeah,
not
their
even
squad
just
is
that.
old.
It's the Klopp. The thing that Klopp does really well is they have players that have a lot of weaknesses, but he makes sure that their weaknesses are less highlighted. They play on their strengths. Like you look at Henderson's not great technically, but you don't really notice it. Trent can't defend for shit, but you don't really notice it apart from like when he really gets exposed. You look at, for example, who else? Like I'm just trying to think. Like Mane is not great as a forward. Like he's quite wasteful. He's not clinical, but you don't really notice it because they create so many chances. Apart from when he misses loads of chances in the game. Like when they get a manager who can't do all of that, they are fucked. They are fucked.
Go AM says if injuries continue, we will have that discussion. What are you equating on Champions League or the Prem?
The Prem.
For me, Prem 100%. Give me the Champions League again.
I doubt we win the Premier this season.
Oh no, sorry. Which are we quitting on the Champions League? I'd rather win the Prem just because we haven't done that in a few years, and I want to see that we can contend across the whole season with the top teams still.
Here's the
If you guys watch the
problem
academy,
with Liverpool.
academy games.
Splashing the money.
I don't.
Liverpool owner just now bought the NFL team, so I don't think we're gonna be able to splash money like people think they are, and we're renovating the stadium.
If Liverpool don't win a Premier League or Champions League in like the next 3 years, their club's done out.
Well, if technically yes, because people saying that that's the best team that ever.
They're not going to get a better team in the next 10 years.
Well, if they sign Salah on a longer contract, we're still going to be challenging for the next 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, but Salah's only going to be at his best for the next 3 years.
Well, that's what we
He's
said
like
when he
29. I
came.
was going to
But
say he's
yeah.
he's 29 or 30 soon.
He's 30
30.
soon. He's 30 this year.
30 soon. Yeah. So he's depending on if he stays at a level and if he like tries to adapt his game a little bit to compensate from stuff that's going to happen as you get older, he might drop off in the next couple of years.
Same with Mane, Van Dijk. They're all like late 20s, early 30s.
Liverpool.
So
are
yeah,
the Leeds of the
we'll
Prem
see
too.
how Liverpool. You want to make a starting 11, Lewis?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I just had to sort something out. Let's get the lineup up on the screen. Give me a sec.
Hold on, real quick. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Alright, say no more.
Free Gilmore.
100%.
MJ, Explorers, shut the fuck up chatting to my redneck like that.
Jeez.
What?
Jeez.
What happened?
Oh, someone was just getting at you in the comment section. That's typical, isn't it? Is what it is. Oh, someone else has joined. There you go. Cool. Right. Right, so that should be the lineup.
Take Aspie out.
We got take Aspie out.
I can't lie. I'd take Christensen out and leave Aspie in.
No,
Like-
no.
Christensen doesn't look in the right mindset to be playing football at the minute. The contract situation is clearly getting to him.
I thought his only bad game was the Zenit one, though.
Nah, bro. The Watford and West Ham games weren't great. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing things I haven't seen from Christensen since Lampard was in
Nah,
charge.
but I think Christensen needs Silva and Rudiger next to him.
If
Without them
Chalobah,
two.
Watford,
He's in the
Watford, I could say I think everyone was dropping off in that game, to be honest. But West Ham, I thought was our best defender personally.
Silva was definitely better than him. Silva was
Nah,
definitely
Silva was hella sloppy in the first 20.
Without Silva,
just be placed
Lewis,
too far.
if we're going off Silva being sloppy for 20 minutes, Christensen had a whole half where he was getting bullied and getting run over.
Against West Ham.
Yeah,
Still,
against West Ham.
Chalobah
He
is
did
not
not-
playing.
I
so
thought he
he
won
has
most
to
of his
play.
duels against Antonio, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
against
Zen-
Antonio, against
Zen-
Antonio was good. Everyone else, he wasn't.
No, but Bowen was
You
on
know, Thiago's
Rudiger's
done
side.
stuff.
That's where he got most of his joy from.
Yeah, it was Rudiger's bone goal is on Rudiger.
I think we should keep him just because we don't have Chalobah back. We don't
Yeah,
know
put him
else.
right center back.
Yeah, he will start. What? That's not even the question. Here we go.
Yeah,
Thiago and
put
Rudiger.
Silva.
Thiago Silva.
Big TT.
Silva. Oh wait,
then
just
Rudiger.
No Aspie, no Aspie.
Nobody's gonna put Aspi on the left, man. Chill.
what a back three.
Right wing back's James, obviously. Obviously.
Yeah, he's confirmed
Facts.
starting.
I told us him
James,
play.
and sadly, we got to drop a
I'll
lot.
be real.
Hold on.
I'll be real.
No.
I'll
Lewis
play
Hall.
Saul. I'll play Saul.
No, hold on.
no.
Can I provide?
Yeah,
No,
he was. Hang on.
no.
He was. He
Did
was
Saul
better
play
than
all
Alonso.
90 minutes or no?
Alonso
That
came on and was
So
worse.
bad.
He came.
but the
Sal
fact that-
played 75.
But the fact that he was so bad apparently, and Alonso came on was worse. He was worse because he offered nothing that Saul was offering and was just as bad defensively.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to see Cho there.
Tell you
because
the
he
truth,
said
I
we
don't
wanna
care
see
which
Cho
one of
there.
them will start.
Could I provide a hypothetical?
Go
What
on.
if you play Pulisic left wing back?
No.
Nah,
By the way, is the other guy is playing for Leeds? What's his name?
Rafinha.
Rafinha.
I think
Yeah,
so. I'm fairly sure.
yeah.
he's fit.
Rafinha will be playing. So it'll be Rafinha via Alonso.
Is that what you want, really?
Regardless, we're in a situation where whoever we play at left wing back is going to be poor defensively.
Yeah, so we might as well
Yeah.
play Pulisic there because he's the best attacker.
But he's like the thing is with what I've seen from him at wing back, I'm not impressed.
People saying
At all.
Rafinha
Yeah,
versus
but
Alonso
now
is
he's
crying
not.
and crying.
For me,
Same
Pulisic
thing is
isn't
going to
good
be
anyway.
Rafinha.
And at least Pulisic is mobile and he can cover space better than Alonso. Alonso just is a calamity waiting to occur.
No,
All I
Alonso
can
is
say is I
good.
don't want to see Alonso. That's the only thing. is I
I'll
don't
play
wanna see
Lewis Hall.
Alonso.
It's actually going to be
Who?
Rafinha versus Rudiger, though.
Who's got that background noise? Fucking hell.
W.
Yeah,
No,
W.
no.
you're quick.
down
That's you.
Why
Mute
guy?
your
Why
mic.
guy?
Why
Wait,
can't I
me?
mute this? Oh, you know what?
Is it me?
It's Yaku.
No,
No.
can't even mute his mic, so it's whatever.
But
I
yeah,
actually think it's going to be Alonso versus what's
Oh.
his name?
I'll play
Rafinha versus
Lewis Hall.
Rudiger.
Play what?
I'd play Lewis Hall.
You can play
Who
Aspi
the hell
there.
is that?
The
Who?
left back
No,
from the
no,
under
no, no.
23s.
No, we ain't bringing an under 23 one in, bro.
Yeah, man, be
Trying to
realistic.
figure out who you're on about for a
Uh,
sec. Yeah. There's
it
no
depends
chance we're
what-
going to play him.
it depends what we want. If we want somebody who's just going to combat Rafinha, then it makes sense to play Aspi. If we want someone that's actually going to work as the left wing back, then our choices are either Alonso or Saul, and I don't trust Alonso.
I don't
just-
trust Saul. I
Did
don't
you
trust
guys
Saul.
not notice? Did you
No,
guys
I-
not
I-
notice?
I-
Saul
I-
is not
No,
playing there
I
again,
back what you
unless
just
it's
said. I'll go with
Brentford.
Aspi. I'll go with
Yo, in
Aspi.
that West Ham game, what's his name? Bowen was being man-marked by Rudiger. Did you guys
Rudiger was
notice?
asked that game.
Yeah, but I'm saying Rudiger was man-marking Bowen. He kept following
I think
him
it was.
around.
He didn't do much though.
When Mark,
That's
I think it was Boeing was the one that marking Rudiger.
Rudiger did nothing.
Yeah, he was
Rudiger
Even if
did
finished.
nothing
your
against
Dutch Cole is better than Alonso.
Right, so
Rudiger did. Rudiger
should we just
did-
bring Ashley Cole out of retirement then?
By the way, did you heard that rumor that Chilwell might be back in mid-January?
I saw that.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
chance. I'm not listening to that.
I'm
Yeah,
not getting
I
my
need-
hopes up.
We have to promote an academy player.
That's
Sir,
an-
yes, sir. Which one?
Lewis who? I've just told you.
Lewis who?
Who?
Don't know who he is.
No, give me. I don't know who that left back is.
Well,
Yeah,
watch for
Lewis
under 23s then.
Well, his name is Lewis who?
Who?
Oh, whom? I don't.
All
know
right,
the guy.
move on.
Oh, boy.
He's even started training
Saul,
with the first team.
Pulisic, Cho, or Alonso? Who are we going for?
I think it will be Alonso probably that starts.
Yeah,
if
it's
I'm,
gonna be Alonso.
I don't want it to be.
I want to put people on with this Pulisic thing, you know. I don't think it's as bad as you guys
No.
would. Bro, like, he's
It
the
really
only
is,
mobile
like-
one. He's the only mobile one. The
Yeah,
rest
but
are
he's
all-
been.
I just don't
Yeah, but
like
I
because
think
I think Cho is gonna play,
I
and I
think
don't like.
I think Tuchel subbing
Shows
on
up as
Alonso or Saul showed that he trusts Alonso more in that position.
the truth is, whoever we pick is going to be bad. But like, it's just a
Yeah.
matter of like who's going to blunder. And I feel like Saul will blunder, Alonso will blunder. At least Pulisic will just be like average, the bare minimum.
What?
So it's just trash be garbage.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
well,
Yeah, just
considering
put,
the last
just put
time,
Maradona in there, and that's it.
considering
Oh
that,
my god!
Oh my god.
You cannot say that. Oh my fucking Lord have mercy.
Oh my gosh.
He needs Jesus.
No involved.
Go
You
AM,
need to
man.
leave. You need to leave.
Have mercy, man. What the fuck? Eesh. Well, to be honest, with the paraphernalia that he likes to take, he might have a better work rate. I will say that.
Oh my god,
So
Lewis.
you're just digging deeper. You're just digging deeper.
Stop digging a hole.
Someone said it, innit?
Jorginho,
Right.
innit? Jorginho.
Right, with that in mind, who are we picking for the pivots?
RLC Jorginho.
Jorginho.
yeah,
Those are the only ones.
Yeah,
Mount
Jorginho and
Jorginho.
Ruben.
Those are the only ones
Mount
available.
Jorginho or
Nice.
Loftus Cheek?
Mount.
Loftus-Cheek.
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 Yes.
No one wants to call Saul.
Piss off.
That's a no then. That's a shame.
Barkley, innit? Barkley.
Oh, kids.
Are you
Fuck
say
that.
it like that?
I
would
go
go
AM.
on.
You haven't got me cancelled yet, so good luck. Oh, fucking hell, blind. Right, front three. Who are we going for the front three?
Cho.
Havertz.
Joe,
Mount.
Kai
Lukaku,
Havertz.
Havertz is definitely starting.
Right. We'll do one at a time. Who's going in the left?
Cho.
Joe.
Look,
Callum.
Cho.
Mason Mount.
Cho.
So we
Mount.
got a few shouts for Show. We got a few shouts for Mount.
There's only
If we're
one shout
playing,
for
I'm
Mount.
sorry, but if we're playing whoever we play at left wing back, Mount needs to play because he's the only left winger or forward player we've got that's defensively sound.
Play Cho on the right then.
No way.
So with that in mind, then we'll go Hudson-Odoi left.
100.
I think then we'll go Mount right.
Havertz up front.
Do you not
Havertz
think
will
Timo
play.
Werner can start, bro?
I
Do you
was
not
gonna
think
say,
Timo can
hang
start?
No, definitely
Hang
not.
on, we're not going to play the guy who got 2 goals and assists in his last game.
Exactly.
No, we're not.
I
Exactly.
think he starts.
That's exactly what we're not doing.
The last time he plays against Leeds, he missed an open
No,
goal.
it's against Leeds.
I think
No, you don't.
I
It's
think we
against
did not
Leeds.
have enough rest. I think we did not have enough rest.
The
I think
whole point-
Ziyech is gonna play, Cho is gonna play, and Kai
Lukaku.
Havertz.
Havertz. Yeah, because
No,
Havertz played like
it's
15 minutes, I
It's
think.
what we played on Wednesday. We got home on Thursday.
Yeah.
The team got home on Thursday.
The whole point of
You
And
have
Timo
one
does
day
the whole
rest.
back.
the whole point of the
Big
centre
up
line
Monster. I don't know where Xavi is still. Right, so who are we going for in there? We going for Werner? We going for R9? Who are we going for?
Look,
Up
I'm
top,
Havertz.
Lukaku.
Exactly.
Wait, no.
I
wait,
say
what?
Havertz.
No Lukaku this game.
Yeah, well.
Since Havertz played the least amount of minutes on Wednesday,
Wait, for striker,
it's
yeah,
definitely going to
Havertz.
be him.
I'm looking at what players are going to thrive.
Fuck
playing
is that?
What is that?
No idea. I'm looking at what players are going to thrive playing against Leeds. Like, they play open at the back, and defensively, they're not there at the minute. Like I said, they haven't got their best centre back. We want Lukaku to start scoring, to start getting goals.
Exactly.
He
you
scored
play
against
him.
Senate.
Nah.
How many-
I want him to start-
How many goals have they?
Scott, I
Hasn't
agree with you,
Bielsa
but I don't
tightened
think
up
he had the good
the-
enough
This guy
rest.
don't
He
move.
played
This
90
guy don't
minutes.
move.
Lukaku is literally.
He literally
just
did
a dog.
against Senate in the first half. He was pressing him. He was
lying.
doing
Nah,
that.
no,
he
he didn't.
didn't.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he
Lukaku
did.
was
No,
Yes,
he
he
didn't.
did.
He was pressing in the first half.
Yes, he
trying
was.
to press. He was like, I remember
He's
like
too
one,
stiff.
He's like, I remember one sequence like on the right wing. He was trying. They were just passing around him. It was so pathetic. It's not worth it. No.
Play him against Everton.
That'd be a shout.
So hang on.
Somebody,
So
somebody said put
make it
Tori
big
Andre
fucking-
Flo up front.
Make it
You
make
think
sense,
he's gonna-
please. We want to
Wait,
not play
you
him against
think-
an open defense. Sorry, we want to not play him against an open defense where he's going to get chances. We want to play him against a defense that's going to play a low block and is more physical and better in the air.
Exactly. And then when he
Hey,
blanks,
Scott,
everyone
Make it
how
make
many
fucking
goals
sense.
have Leeds
No,
conceded in the past few
bro.
games?
For us to breach Leeds, we're gonna need to be fluid. We can't have
Exactly.
ball up top. It's just stupid.
he was fluid against Zenit. What game were
No,
you
he
watching?
wasn't.
Are you
No,
yes,
he
he
wasn't.
wasn't. Are you
No, he
drunk?
wasn't.
Christ.
What do you mean? You did watch that first half. I can tell you did watch that first half.
No, I just think you're trying to really, really force a 100 mil player into the team so we can suddenly gain on form. It doesn't work like that. He's just
Trust
not.
me.
I'm going off what I saw from him in that first half against Zenit, which was he was pressing. He
Bro,
wasn't
he was whacking the
central,
first
He was
half.
he was
attempting
moving out
to
to the
press.
right.
Whack.
This guy would have got an assist if Mount took his fucking chance. If
I
Mount
swear-
takes the chance, Lukaku has an assist from moving out to the right hand side, not being
that was-
static, getting into space and putting a good ball in.
If we're going by
you're a hard work
this,
merchant.
I don't think Mount starts.
Now
I
Mount
think
has
you
to
have
start.
play too much.
No, Mount
No,
starts.
Guys,
100%.
like, wait, hold on. Like Tuchel just last week said, Lukaku isn't right for playing 45 minutes of Premier League football. But now you want us to start him 2 games in a row. Like that
He's a
doesn't
main
make
striker.
sense.
Played
at
over
the moment.
45 minutes. Yes, he's going to start.
Like Lukaku had
I-
like 2, from what I can remember, the 2 moments: the cross to Mount and then the tap in from Werner. It's like I don't really see what else you saw that makes you want to play him against Leeds.
I just think that the
it's either
person
him
who
or
plays
Werner,
the least
to be
amount of
honest. And either have their positives and their negatives.
Wait, is Havertz injured or something?
Now he could play.
No,
Oh
he's
shit! Yeah, I
not.
forgot about Havertz.
Havertz is
Fucking
fully
hell.
fit. You put him in. The only issue with having Havertz is that maybe or maybe not he won't finish. But with Lukaku, he might not even get into the position to finish.
Exactly.
I'm not
That's
gonna
the
lie.
problem.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
but
lie,
Leeds are
this
so
is- if
open
If we're going with,
Nah, it's all-
average Hudson doing
Look,
Mount,
if it
Anything,
was-
because
if
of
it
the
was
movement
more-
and the way they play, I might be tempted to
I don't think
switch
like
them around.
I don't think the whole
But
thing.
Play
with
Werner and play Havertz.
Werner,
And Havertz,
and
yeah.
take Lukaku off and put Havertz in.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, if you want that front three, you want your eyes to hurt. Actually, no, sorry. If you had Lukaku, then you want your eyes to hurt.
That could be possibility actually.
That's the
better,
perfect lineup.
still.
That could be better.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
I,
then-
I mean,
now,
if Lukaku had more
Alonso.
rest than 2 days, I will start Lukaku. But
Did he play 90? Did Lukaku
Yeah.
did not even play 90?
Yeah.
No, he
did
didn't.
it?
he
played
almost
75.
90.
He played
65?
70 something minutes.
He
I
played
thought it was
75.
more than that.
He's
Yeah.
definitely starting this one. He's definitely starting.
I doubt
I
it.
Yeah,
don't
Johnny
think-
agrees as well. Big up, Johnny.
I feel be risking him at that point.
I don't. It doesn't matter if it. I think it's gonna be a ZH instead of Timo Werner. But
Actually, Johnny, if you're around, I'll send you the
Yeah.
link.
I just don't think it makes sense to take Werner out of the team when he scored 2
no.
goals.
I
He's
like.
playing
I-
Yeah,
well.
but you're
that-
sugarcoating
the
that
reason.
performance.
The
He wasn't
reason
that
why
good.
I'm doing it is because how close the games were together.
he was
That's
our
the
man
only
of the
reason I'm
match. What are
doing
you talking
Yeah,
I'm
about?
not,
Mount played
I'm not
90 as
sugarcoating
well.
anything. I didn't say he was world class in that game, but the fact is, like, we like
Mount played 90,
he
didn't he?
did what he was meant to do in that game in
Mount
terms of scoring and
Mount,
assisting. It's
Mount,
like
Mount is young.
if you're going to take him out of the team after he does that, then what are you saying as a manager? What are you saying to that player?
No,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
don't
not.
start
Bro,
Lukaku then. Don't start
this
Lukaku.
whole thing can't be built on sentiment. We're going for the title.
I'm not
Like,
saying
let's go.
sentiment. I'm not talking sentiment. I'm talking production. This guy scored 2 and got an assist.
Okay, look.
And
Okay,
you're going
look.
to take him out.
Listen.
So what?
No.
So, hang on,
Okay, listen.
so to argue that, what's this guy
Against
got?
Leeds,
Score a hat
they
trick every
can't
game?
fucking
Like,
defend.
bro, okay, so listen. Let me rebuttal that. So one, we played against Zenit, and the whole point of that starting 11 we played against them was
Yo,
Hang on,
yo,
is
yo,
that the same-
yo!
sorry,
Calm
sorry, is
down
that
on
the same
Zenit.
team? Sorry,
Okay,
sorry.
cool.
Here
Is
we
that the
go.
same Zenit team? Just want to ask, is that the same Zenit team that we scored 1 against in the home fixture and couldn't break down for nearly 90 minutes?
We,
Yeah,
by
but
the way,
that's
we
still
should have
Zenit.
lost that game,
Yeah,
first
okay,
game.
cool.
Just want to check that's the same
Listen,
Zenit team you're talking about. That's the
listen,
same
listen,
Zenit team that
Yeah,
screw
it's
with
the
us.
same
Yeah,
Zenit
pretty
team, but like let's all be honest, it is still Zenit. And then secondly, the starting 11 we played against Zenit was having rotation in mind. So like we didn't play any, if we were trying to win that game outright, we just played because
Let's have it
our-
right.
And
Can we
Werner
just
wasn't
take a
playing
vote?
anyway.
Yo, Lewis, can we just take a vote?
No.
What do you mean? No, man. This is bad. I just don't know
Let's
what
get a
happened.
fresh
Dan is
opinion.
here.
Mineral Man, what are you saying?
Yeah, what are you saying? There?
Let's have it
Big up
right.
everyone. Yeah, let's have
You
it
good,
right.
bro? What are you telling me about the lineup? Any changes you'd make?
So let me have a quick look. Well, we know Jorginho and Loftus are fit or in contention to start. If
Free
they
Gilmore.
are, yeah, free Gilmore in it. But I definitely, that's the area that concerns me the most in the side. So them two playing makes me feel a lot more confident going into this game. Up front, yeah, I agree. I think you rest Lukaku and you bring him on sort of last 20 minutes to add something different or try and kill the game off if it's tight. Add something different to our game. But I think Havertz offers the pressing, the fluidity,
Exactly.
and we can match Leeds in that area because Leeds are going to press us to shit. Even though they're weak, they're a weak team, like with their injuries. I still think that they're going to play the way they play regardless.
The intensity.
So, yeah, we need to match the intensity because Lukaku did do it a little bit in the first half, but I mean he's nowhere near as good as Havertz at pressing.
Exactly.
He's nowhere near it.
Facts.
So for this game, I think let Havertz move about, ghost with Mount. I think Mount and Havertz got the best chemistry in our front line, and then you got Werner in there. Yeah, Werner. I think Werner's got to play. He's bagged 2 goals. I think he's, let's see what he can do, and that's the Champions League front line. You know what I'm saying? That's the minerals there, bruv. They'll be able to.
I think the biggest debate's been Havertz and Werner, and if they should both be starting. I think Mount's been more looked at as a shoe-in to start. I don't think anyone's debating that point.
No.
The biggest question has been about Werner, whether it should be him.
The truth,
well, if you don't play Werner, I think you have Mount on the left because of Alonso.
If you don't play Werner, you play Cho.
That offers protection to Alonso, and because he suffers with pace, and I think that's just a better insurance. Well, maybe Ziyech on the right because that's his favoured position. So, but
I think those three is actually a fluid, better playing Ziyech better with Kai Havertz and Mount.
For me, Ziyech is hit and miss. Like what Ziyech is going to get.
So is Werner.
Yeah,
but Werner's just come off the back of bagging goals.
I don't get what you get out of telling a player who's just scored 2 and got an assist. Yeah, that wasn't good enough.
No,
like, what are they expected to do? What are they expected to do?
But Werner also, you forget with Werner, Ziyech, granted, he does press and all that, but Werner is excellent at pressing. He works very, very hard for the front line in the team. So if he's just come off the back of scoring 2 and assisting, he's worthy of a start. I think Lukaku, because of the time difference in recovery from the Zenit game, the travelling and coming back, and he's not fully fit, I would rather rest Lukaku and bring him on last 20 minutes.
The only reason I said Ziyech versus Werner, it's for the same reason Lukaku is resting. That's the only reason. No, I'm saying if Timo Werner is good physically, he should start based on how he plays.
He should be, but don't forget in the second half, you can take off Havertz for Lukaku. You can take off Werner if he's tired and put on a Ziyech or a Pulisic or Cho. You know what I'm saying?
The same way you said that, you can also bring Werner off the bench against tired legs, and he'll be more of a threat. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to. It's not this whole.
This one's on Tuchel. I mean, he's pretty restricted in every other department.
But but based on his production, he deserves to start.
Yeah, he does on merit. Werner deserves to start. Yeah, of course he does. Yeah,
no doubt. I don't know about that one.
When Lukaku is fit, Havertz barely starts.
Put the Werner agenda aside. If you look at the players delivered for you in the last game, when we played fucking awful, right, and he almost won us the game. You know what I'm saying? You'd play him. You play him.
But hold on. As you guys are talking about form, if we're talking about form, why not play Ziyech, who saved us against Watford, who was one of the only players that had a good game against West Ham, and now you're telling me he's just down and out.
Ziyech for me is an impact player. He's an off the bench player.
He could start, but I think the reason that I played the only other thing you could do is not play Havertz and play Ziyech, but we've seen that Werner down the middle doesn't work.
No, not down the middle.
You got Mount for the defensive ability. It's then between Havertz and Lukaku, and for me, I'd still play Lukaku. But if we're using
I'll
the
play
resting
Havertz.
thing, then fair enough. If we're using the resting Lukaku, then fair enough. Havertz has to start. And then you look at it, Werner's come off the back of winning, or not winning us, but doing the only thing of note in terms of production in the last game. Regardless of how he actually performed, he scored 2 and got an assist. You
And
can't
also,
drop
second
players
goal he
that got
scored.
an assist.
The second goal he scored. Right, the first goal is down to him being in the right position and anticipate, which is very good. But hold on. But the second goal is he made it himself. He shimmied it to the right and he went and he shot. And that's the Werner we've seen at Leipzig. We haven't seen that Werner at Chelsea. So that for me is the first sign of the Werner we bought. It's a very small sign, but it's something I'd rather take a risk on in playing him against a high line Leeds where he can actually run into space with his pace.
We're making a mistake and just assuming that Leeds always plays a high line. Do you remember that match?
They will. They always
Last
play a
season.
high line.
You remember
They're one
when
of
it
the
was last
teams
season and
we
we weren't playing. They weren't playing a high line.
Did anybody?
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Did anybody watch the Tottenham?
So
Leeds
why
game?
are we assuming that?
That's how they play. They press. As soon as they'll press in the middle, but they don't have Phillips either. They don't have Phillips, and Phillips is key to like their press in the middle.
Exactly. So why would they play their expansive football?
Because Bielsa doesn't change his philosophy.
But
he demands it regardless.
Though, when we do no. He saw Werner was playing up front, and he played a low block.
No, but in that game, it wasn't like they just sat back. In that game, they didn't just sit back.
No, they
didn't.
We couldn't break it down in that game.
They were pressing us from the front in the middle.
That game, they had chances on the attack. They had many chances in transition. They hit the
Joe
ball.
Havertz, Ziyech.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be choke Kai Havertz and Ziyech because the games are too close.
So you think full rotation then?
It's going to be fourth free rotation.
That makes no sense.
No.
What?
I'm
You're
not saying
dropping
that
Mount?
Hey, Mount has to play.
I'm saying because of the look. I'm not saying we drop Mount because of how he played. I'm saying because how close the games.
Yeah, but
we
we need to
shut
win
up and
What?
finish.
Wait, let him finish. Let him finish.
Calm.
Johnny, I'm not saying drop Mount because how he plays. I'm saying because it's 2 days rotation. They come back from to England on Thursday morning.
Yeah, I know this, but he's the one player you can't drop.
1 day off and 2 practices.
The squad's thin as it is. You can't drop him.
I wouldn't say
No, not doing the attack.
No, he's not saying drop him. He's saying rotate.
Wait, drop who? Wait, rotate who?
Well, that is dropping him. If he's not
Rotate
playing,
the whole country, and he's saying play Havertz, Cho, and Ziyech.
The only if that
I'm
happens,
saying it's the rest.
if that happens though, Ziyech has to play on the left because he's better defensively than Cho.
Yeah, but then is he going to defend? Is he going to protect Alonso? Ziyech?
Yeah,
I don't think he does.
He's not as good as Mount at doing it. He can do it. He's not as good as Mount. But if
Actually, Ziyech is the only one that actually does like Mount does, drops in the midfield.
Yes.
Yeah, but he likes to go. He likes to go centre. Ziyech. He likes to roam. He loves to roam.
What I said is not because how they played against Zenit. The reason why I said those lineup is because how close the games are together. It's only 2 days, 1 day rest and 2 practices. That's it.
Yeah, but Mount doesn't need tactical development. He knows how they're going to play.
Tactical development.
You know what I'm saying? He's not going to drop Mount. I'll tell you that now. He will not do it.
Yeah, there's no issue. Like,
Mount is
play
undroppable.
either Mount or Ziyech. It doesn't matter.
Mount is not undroppable because we've seen
he's
it
not
happen.
undroppable.
No,
he's undroppable, mate. He's undroppable.
Hold on. It's not a matter of.
There's damn near no one in our team when everyone's fit that's undroppable.
It's not.
He's fundamental. He's fundamental to our system.
He's not undroppable. That's 2 different things.
The only players
Mendy is
undroppable.
undroppable.
It's not.
I agree with Johnny though. I think he's fundamental, but he is not undroppable.
He is, and you'll see when Tuchel plays it.
Let's not turn it into that. Please.
He dropped.
Yeah, you're right. It's like the stream's almost over. Let's not do this.
The only time he didn't start him is because he's bringing him back from either injury or from wisdom teeth. There you go. There you go. Innit? Do you know what I mean? He's
He
at the end of the
dropped
day,
him
yeah.
against Spurs game.
He's our most important player, especially the squad that we got right now.
Okay, God, we're sick of the mount prop. We get it. He's good.
It's not about prop. It's about recognizing it.
Deep throating him, man.
It's about recognizing it, mate.
Just say you want to fuck him already. God.
Come on.
I ain't that way inclined, mate. Sorry to
It
disappoint.
sounds like it. Just say you want to fuck Mason Mount at this point, Johnny. I'm sick.
Nah, that's a bit grim for me, bruv. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit grim.
Stop putting that visual in my head for fuck's sake. I don't want to
grim.
think about that shit.
He's the middle general, bruv. He's the middle general, bruv, and he's playing against Leeds, against them scum, bruv. Trust
Johnny
me.
Gilmore Mount threesome.
Free Gilmore.
You man's heads are in the fucking gutter. I swear down. Oh my days. Come on, man.
To be fair,
Fucking hell.
regardless of who we play,
Someone
we
say
should-
pause. Sheesh.
Yep.
regardless of who we're playing, like who ends up starting, we should be beating them. We should be beating this Leeds team.
Oh God!
Should I tell you what my one concern is? It's just a matter of finishing. Like, depending on who we put up, depending on who
I'll be real. I'm not as worried because you look at the last 2 or 3 games, our finishing hasn't been the issue. It's been defensively, we've been terrible.
Yeah, but who's been getting our goals? It's been players like what's it called, Ziyech and Mount. Those have been the two that I would say.
It doesn't matter. We still score. It's still
Yeah,
scoring.
but like people, like there are games where I look at Havertz.
Start the United game.
I don't get this team, though. I don't get this fan base. Yeah, when we have players scoring consistently, there's a problem.
No one's
When
scoring
they're not
consistently.
Hold on.
No, wait,
okay,
I don't get what the issue is anyway. Like,
wait. Hold on.
Who's scoring consistently?
The issue in our
Mount
team at
Ziyech,
the moment
Chris
is that
Taylor,
we're
No,
lacking.
James,
that's what I'm
the
saying.
only
That's
consistent
what
player, James.
The issue we got right now with our team is that because of the injuries, we're not holding the ball, we're not keeping the possession like we have been when we had Jorginho and Kovacic. We need Billy Esther in there, but he's not going to come back till January, so we can't do anything about it now till then. But the point is, Tuchel said it, and the bottom line is that our concentration levels, especially from the midfield and the back, have not been there. And that's where you lose games or you concede goals because your concentration levels are not at it.
The least of our issues in the last 3 games has been going forward. The least of our issues. So that's why I'm really confused by this point that everyone. I see people complaining about us going forward over the last 3 games. It's like, how can you have issues? I don't get how you have issues
with the double
forward.
pivot in the back. It's it.
Yeah, I think it's been a little bit unfair. This defense has been carrying us for the last 10, 11 months, and we have a few games where our defense has been a little bit shaky, and now we're calling attention on the defense.
It's not the defense problem, it's the
It's the
problem.
midfield. It's the
midfield.
It's both. It is
No,
both.
not even the midfield.
No,
it's
not a
double six
defense.
midfield.
It's both. It's not the midfield wasn't at fault for Zenit's second goal. That's the defense.
The defense is your pivot and your defense that work together as a unit. They work together as a unit. So if you're losing your players and your pivot, bruv, that's your protection to your back line.
Exactly.
If that's not there, then your back line's more exposed, regardless.
Yeah, and in that defense, there's Malangsa.
Guys, I'm gonna head out. It's been great chatting you guys again. I'll talk to you later.
Go and order your Mason Mount dummy, bruv. Go and order it, bruv, online on the Chelsea
Go
website.
order your sex doll. I'll see you later.
That's it, bruv. It's the pivot. The pivot we struggle with. That. Listen, you take out Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric out of Real Madrid's midfield.
Fact.
They ain't gonna be playing the way they're playing, bruv. You know what I mean? 1 you can get away with, 2 at the most. All 3 ain't happening, and that's what's happening to Chelsea right now. We've lost 3 of our main.
We need to sign Declan Rice.
We lost 4 players in the one position.
And Chilwell. We've lost Chilwell.
And Chilwell, which is same.
That's it. Bring the Ballon d'Or, bruv. Number 19 for our number 19. Ballon d'Or ranking. Money Mace. That's it. Let's have it right. No one thought he'd get anywhere near Ballon d'Or.
I wouldn't be surprised if you.
Let's have it right.
One time.
Yeah, he's the baller.
Let's fucking have it, mate.
Mineral
And
general,
also,
bro.
pick up goal of the season too while we're at it.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
fine.
no. Come on, Lewis. You know it's money makes me West Ham. That's the goal of the
It's
season,
tight.
bro.
It's tight.
It's
Like,
tight, you know.
we'll go to a 50-50 vote or something.
What are we
We'll
saying
have-
about Kante v Leicester?
I agree,
Alonso
it's
against
great
Crystal
hit and
Palace.
everything, but it's
I'll
not
give
really
you your
Andreas
flowers,
Christensen
bro.
on
That
the
was a
volley
wonder
first
strike
time
by
against
AC.
Malmo.
It
Nah,
was a wonder strike.
Kante v Leicester, goal of the season.
I think it's Callum versus Norwich.
Alonso versus Crystal Palace.
Nah, jokers, no way.
But
let's move on. Let's move on.
Personally, I'm a huge fan of fucking. If it's not
Declan
80
Rice.
versus Malmo, Dan said Declan Rice.
If
Who
you
said
say the
that?
if you say the Christensen goal, Chalobah did him better against Juventus. Exactly.
Christensen should have
had a goal
against Crystal Palace.
Pinball tax. We'll say pinball
Chalobah's goal
tax.
versus Crystal Palace was sick.
No, it has to be Reece James though. At the end of the day, versus
Yeah,
Newcastle.
it's Reece James for me too. With
The,
the left footer.
the Reece James
footer.
goal against Norwich, I think that was a good goal.
Yeah, but Reece
no,
James has dipped.
the one
Reece James
versus
has dipped
Newcastle
a little
was
bit
better.
since he got taken out for his little knock, and then he's come back in. I feel like hopefully tomorrow he's back on it because we need him on it. We need him on it big
Wait,
time.
who? Reece James?
Yeah.
I feel like
I think because our attack is so focused on the right now.
On the right,
that's
yeah,
why.
because we don't have
And the
enough
left is so they just focus on his side. But
exactly.
if there was someone who was more competent on the left, Reece would have much more space because they've been two minds of trying to deal with the left side and the right side. That's why it worked so well.
And this is why I said we should bring in Pulisic because he provides a threat.
Pulisic is a great impact player though. At the moment.
I was going to say again, if we're talking about players that are on form, he's not on form.
I know, but like I'm just going for the left wing back thing. No one's
Anyway, Lewis, I gotta
He's
go
been,
take
every game I've seen him at wing back.
Love.
Shit.
See you guys.
Take
Have a
care,
good
guys.
day. Hope we win tomorrow.
Shut up,
Everybody,
shut up.
have a good.
Yeah. The truth with Pulisic is that he's just finished.
Spread some minerals, Johnny. Later.
Yeah, man. Trust me.
Let's have it right.
Do you know what? I actually don't think Pulisic has ever been a starter in this Chelsea team under Tuchel.
I think he's finished. He's done. He's done.
He's not finished, but I just think
he's done at Chelsea. He's done at Chelsea.
Who?
Pulisic. He's
he's not done. No.
He's not done, but he needs to be fine coming off the bench. I think the three at the back system limits him so hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly. Yeah.
He's one of those pure wingers that requires space and thing. I mean, we don't play. We play with inside forwards, so he's done. And the injury record and everything, he's done. He's done, bro.
And I don't think he's as versatile as let's say.
He's not dumb. I think we have to move into a back four to get the best out of him.
Yeah, and even with that, we need to remember that Tuchel was the one manager who sacked him off for Sancho in the first place. So yeah,
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
He was.
He wasn't.
He wasn't then. He wasn't then.
He was not.
Lucien Favre.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't. It wasn't Tuchel.
The thing that concerns me is that we've not been playing well all season so far, and we've come to a point now where we're hit by all the injuries, but I feel like we've lost major momentum, and we've not been in form, and we've had momentum. Now we're not in form, and we haven't got momentum. This is a really important time for Tuchel to show that he's got the minerals. Like, we know he's got it, but he's got to dig it out somehow and get us rack up as many points in this bad period until we get Kante and Jorginho and Kovacic all back running how we were. Because once they're back, I'm super confident like we will hit the ground running. But like I said, we ain't been on form. We've had momentum, and we've lost both now. Completely lost form, completely lost momentum. So this is a tough period right now. Tough period. This is going to show if we've got the minerals to be champions or not. Literally.
If Tuchel goes through the same December as Lampard, will he get sacked?
No.
Tuchel shouldn't. There should be no talk of Tuchel getting sacked.
Tuchel's
no
not going
talk
anywhere.
of it. It's waffle.
The board cannot sack. They let him down over the summer. There's no way they sack him.
Yeah, but they don't care.
They don't care.
But
you know that. They don't care. They're happy for Haaland to go to Manchester City, bro.
There aren't any
they don't
issues
give a shit, bro.
Haaland's not
in the dressing room for Tuchel to be sacked yet.
He's going to go there,
players
bro.
actually like Tuchel at the moment.
I think they'll give
With
him
Lampard, everything was toxic in the end.
They'll give him more leeway.
That's why it was.
And he's proven it. But
I mean, because I think they will be more lenient because even with Lampard, they stretched his sacking for as long as they possibly could. You know what I mean? They did like they
Honestly,
gave
I
him.
don't think they even liked Lampard. I think after first season, they're like, we're
No,
good
no,
with him.
they were waiting for this opportunity of him to have a
Yeah.
really bad patch,
they were,
and that's the
Yeah.
moment they struck the
Exactly.
iron.
I think,
But
I
with
think they could do that.
Tuchel, it's clear as day. Tuchel is the right man for the job. But the problem is, like
he
for
needs
me,
the right players.
if
He needs the right
Tuchel goes
players.
and wins a Premiership title, right? If he goes and wins a title, the board are going to look at it like this. They're going to go, well, we've signed you Lukaku, we've got you Sol, you've made it work, you've won us a title, our squad is good enough to compete.
It's
we
not.
don't really need to blow out the money.
Exactly, and that's my fear. So I feel
That's
like
the worry. That is a worry.
We needed Declan Rice to complete our team.
No, it's not
We
just
don't
Declan
need
Rice.
Rice. We need a player like Rice. We don't need Rice.
The perfect player is Chouameni.
No, that's cap.
No, it's not because he has the attributes of a Jorginho.
Chouameni, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Chouameni don't sit. Chouameni don't sit.
He's a box to box. Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, he's like Kante.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And are we seeing Kante's injury record?
They're not going to go and buy a Bellingham, and they're not going to go and buy a Rice, who are going to cost you probably up to 100 million. So they'll go for the cheaper option.
The truth of the matter is,
instead of actually looking for a player, that's actually what we need. We're just shutting up big names now. We're not actually talking about people we actually need. Because now both Rice and Chouameni are more box to box than sitters.
Rice is not a box to box. He's more of a sitter. He can do both. He
can be put into centre back if needed.
He is not the exact player. Like he would be the player we need, but he's too expensive. We need a player like him
That's
more
why I'm
reasonably
opting for
priced.
Chouameni because Chouameni
is not the same. Chouameni is an 8.
He's not a sitter. He's Kante.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Who? Okay, wait. Start again. Who do you want for what? For what? You want a sitter for who?
I want a sitter for a reasonable price. It's not going to cost you 100 mil.
Okay, so you just want a sitter, just period. Okay, cool. So who would you want for that? Declan Rice.
Like I said, reasonably priced.
Yeah, I agree with you. But like, other than Declan Rice, who else is there?
You could probably go out and find someone if you for a reasonable price. Again,
Chouameni's not a sitter.
As we discussed earlier in the stream, if you went out and scouted properly instead of just going for a big name.
Yeah, but I think our scouts are lacking the minerals, bruv. And I think Tuchel.
I will time you out.
I want Tuchel to just go and pick players. They don't have to be big names, but players that he likes, and just go and buy the players that he wants. Don't just buy what suits the board and the market, because it just don't work like that. You're buying players and saying make it work in that system. It doesn't work like that. Football's not as simple as that. And Tuchel knows that.
You're talking about someone I want, someone I'd take, but will be laughed at because of everything we've been discussed. Is Benjamin Andre at Lille, part of a title-winning season? CDM at Lille. He's in terms of defensive stats, he's the best in the league in midfield.
Yeah. So so let's say Tuchel says I want him and I don't want Rice or whoever, you go and buy that player.
Yeah, okay. No, I agree with the option, but I kind of over the last summer when people were mentioning the concept of CDM, I couldn't understand it because we play with double pivot, and the one we have right now seems to work with Jorginho playing the more sitting role and Kante being the
three at the back is not a lasting formation.
It is just
why
it can be.
It can be.
Session with switching back. The problem is that we over congested in that part of the field. We're not going to buy a new player until we get rid of Kante or Jorginho, and we don't feel like we need another player in that position.
I think
we have Gilmore still. We have.
I want Gallagher and Gilmore to come back.
But the thing is, I think, and you guys are gonna disagree with me with this. I think Gilmore and Gallagher are like for like replacements for Jorginho and Kante. The one you're gonna argue with me with is the Gallagher and Kante one. But if you see the way this Gallagher presses up and down the pitch and is all ever present everywhere, you will see what I mean.
Right. So why do we need another Rice?
No, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like for me, the concept of a CDM is I don't understand it. We're not going to play with unless we're going to be switching to a 3-5-2, which is just that's a horrible formation.
Which is why the scouting and recruitment is not up to par because it clearly seems like the coaching staff and the recruitment and the board aren't at the same terms. They aren't really discussing
This
what the
this is
future holds for the
The
team.
scout, the
They
scouting
just
is
I would say one issue I have with that, and people will call me out on this, but I don't care, is I don't think in his job, and this comes with lack of experience, I don't think Czech's been amazing at his job.
well, he hasn't really like.
Explain.
We don't really
Because
know the
in
ins and outs.
terms of what he's signed Mendy, or he helped to sign Mendy, which is good. But apart from that, his whole job as technical director was to be the bridge between Tuchel and the board.
Yeah.
So far, we've seen
and he's not.
absolutely
Yeah,
nothing. We've seen
No, no,
nothing apart from the Mendy deal in terms of
No, no, no.
discourse between the
No,
board
hold on.
and the manager.
I
That's
don't
why.
think- I don't
Just
think-
before you go,
Say-
Paul Jr. says the problem with our scouts, we need to buy players to fit a system. No, we buy players to fit a system. 18 months later, coach is fired. Now you find a player who now needs to fit into a new system. That was the biggest problem when we were going from Conte to Sarri.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it was two completely
That's
different
why you got to buy
styles.
versatility. That's what you
No,
got to buy
you just have to
into.
buy good footballers. If you buy good footballers, you can fit any system.
Reggie Thoughts also says that three at the back can't
course.
last thing. It's such a typical football Twitter low effort take. It's like an urban myth, nothing factual about it. I've still said as well, people saying five at the back needs to be changed sooner or later just need to crawl into a hole personally because
100%.
it's been working perfectly. You played the best football you played in years. The only reason why it might not work right now is because of the Ben Chilwell injury. And even then, we find a suitable left wing back. It's not a problem anymore, and then we go back to a stable system with no holes in it. Right now, the only hole is because Alonso gets his arse cheeks spread every single time we play a game. Pause.
Yeah,
It's true. It's true.
I just think
as I was saying on the Czech thing is, we're not
Land
seeing
of the worst.
any discourse between the board and Tuchel in
But
terms
we
of
don't
signings
know
that
that, though. We don't know that.
the signings that are being made.
Yeah,
The guy-
100%. It's clear as day to see that.
Who wants to defend
Tuchel's not
Lukaku
being
in the first place?
Tuchel's not being backed
Tuchel.
fully by far.
Tuchel's not been back. Like,
But this is the time now.
to me,
That's
No, no, no,
This is the
what I
time.
think is,
This
what I
is not
think
the-
is, Czech is,
Okay.
what I think is, instead of Tuchel relaying a message to Czech to relay to Marina, it's Marina and the board relaying message to Czech to tell Tuchel. So Tuchel's just told, you know what, we're looking to
Wait.
buy Lukaku or Haaland. Instead of Tuchel saying, you know what, there's this striker I'm looking at. That's what's happening.
No, so, like-
This is basically what Czech's doing. What I
Yeah, he's
think.
an intermediary. He's an
I don't
intermediary. That's all
think
he
we-
is.
Then,
I don't
then
think
for
we
me,
can
then there's
blame
no
Czech.
point. Bar the fact, as I said, he got Mendy. There is no point him being in a job because if he's just an intermediary, then he's like you can have other people for that.
No. So okay, so the thing
Whereas
with
him being
Czech's-
at the club is a waste of time.
No, okay, hold on. Czech's role in the club isn't like it's not a fixed role. He got that job to move up further as time goes by. So like it is a made up role. I agree with you, but it's a progressive role that's going to change in the future. That's one. And then two, with the way Czech is like, so Tuchel will recommend a player. Czech will take it to the board, and more often than not, the board will like waffle as to why they can't do it, or they will find some sort of pothole as to why the deal fell through, and then Czech will relay that message back to Tuchel. That's his job. You know what I mean? So I don't think Czech is the one that should be getting flamed. It's the
That makes sense.
I
Yeah.
think he needs to have. I think there is some blame needs to be laid on him because I think not necessarily blame, but I
Or
think
maybe
it
we
comes with-
don't
it comes with
exactly
a
know
lack
what
of
his role
experience.
is.
I think it comes with a lack of experience at his job. Someone like a Ralph Rangnick in terms of technical director, I think, would be better because they have more. They are more
Understanding
used
of the
to having-
game.
No, but it's not even that. They will have more
Authority.
weight behind their words. They'll
Yeah.
be able to convince the board more easily.
But the
Whereas
issue with
Czech
that
is
is
new to his job and doesn't really.
I
hasn't
doubt
had-
that.
No, that's true.
I
The issue
doubt
with that is that will provide so many conflicts with the board. Like it just would. There's no way that will work. No way.
I just
think-
think the bottom line is, lads. I think the bottom line is Chelsea are never going to change. What they're treating Tuchel and the players like are chess pieces, and it's as simple as that. They will go out in the market, whatever suits them financially at that time. They will go and buy that player, and they will say to whoever's in charge, make it work. And if you're not going to make it work, we're going to ship you out, and we're going to get someone else. And we keep while doing that, we're instilling the winning mentality. So we've always got a winning mentality, and they're not scared to pull the trigger and let Tuchel go. As mad as it sounds, They'll do it with. They've done it with Ancelotti. That's how brutal they are. Why are they not going to do it with Tuchel? They probably will do it with Tuchel.
I will say, if we get Shalai, that centre back, that gives me more faith because that's come as a direct recommendation from Tuchel and his team.
Who's this guy?
Because it's come from his assistant manager, the Hungarian one, Zsodlo, I think his name is.
Is this the guy that plays for the Turkish side?
Yeah. So if we get him,
Matt Law came out and said it was false.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Matt Law came out and
if it happened, it gives me more faith that they're listening to Tuchel because that's someone that him and his team
Is that his signing? Yeah, is that his player?
Yeah, that's come from his team. So if that's come from his assistant manager, the guy he trusts most in this world,
right?
In terms of footballing aspects.
Why didn't they do that in the summer then? For fuck's sake! Do you know
I don't
what
know.
I mean?
All I'm saying is if
they were
that
so
happens,
focused
I
on
have a
turning
bit
a
more
profit.
faith that they're listening to him.
They were so focused on turning a profit. Tuchel recommended thousands of players, not thousands, but like a bunch of players. He recommended Adama Traore. He recommended Hakimi. He recommended I think Haaland was common knowledge, and he recommended a midfielder. I didn't care which, and the board just constantly fell over their feet over and over and over again.
No, I think I do agree, but I also think that they were so focused. Mourinho was so focused on getting rid of dead wood or players and making money.
She was too focused on Haaland.
Or making money.
No, she wasn't too focused on Haaland.
She was.
She was trying to sell as many players as possible to make the Haaland deal work. And they didn't just want to go in for Haaland. They wanted to be able to strengthen other areas. And in the end, what did they do? They bought Lukaku and they loaned Sol.
We panicked by Lukaku.
Yeah,
What?
Lukaku was a panic buy. Anyone that said otherwise, I
think it is a panic buy. It is a panic buy.
It was so wrong. And I remember when we were trying to sign him, I was just saying no, please, no, and then he just
Because if they wanted Lukaku from the start, they would have got him. They would have got him a lot earlier.
Do you guys think Tuchel is being too passive out of fear of angering the board and owner?
Yes, that can be.
He's experienced that at PSG, isn't he?
Well, he's trying to find a balance, though. He's trying to find a balance, like how to recommend, but not how to step on toes. This is the problem.
Every club he's been at, every club he's managed at, there have been issues with the board. Augsburg, they had issues because he wasn't allowed the funds to spend money, so he left. Then when he went to, I think he went to either Mainz or Dortmund, I can't remember. They might not have had issues if he went to Mainz. At Dortmund, he had issues with both the players and the board. And then at PSG, he had issues with Leonardo, who deals with all the transfers and shit. So I think now he's learned that I need to try and, like Xavi said, find
be more
balance.
tactful. He needs to be more tactful.
Where I can still be forceful in terms of what I want, but not too over the top and overbearing and coming across poorly.
Yeah.
All I know is that Chelsea missing out on Haaland is going to be the exact carbon copy of us missing out on Aguero. And everyone knows how that turned out for Aguero. That player, back in the day, when we had the chance to sign Aguero for 52 million, and then City ended up buying him for 44 million, that was the one deal out of all the transfer windows back in my time.
Johnny.
Yeah.
The biggest difference between Aguero and Erling Haaland is that Aguero stayed at Man City for 9 years, while Haaland likely leaves Chelsea in 2 or 3.
But no one knew that, Lewis, at the time. At the time, no one knew how long Aguero was going to stay. But what they did know,
no, but we can be pretty sure about how long Haaland would stay here for.
Well, no, there's no guarantee. He might fall in love with the club and he's winning titles. Why is he going to move? He won't move.
He'll go to Madrid.
But Aguero as a player is
Johnny,
you could just see he was
no one could afford Aguero anyway. Even if they wanted to go and buy Aguero from City, who's going to afford him?
Situation with Hazard and Rudiger, and who else has been Courtois, and all these players that have wanted to move on to the bigger clubs in quotation marks. That's just how
it's going to happen with Havertz. It's going to happen with him.
It probably will.
But Chelsea still went out and broke the bank for him. That's my point.
We broke the bank in a way that was still wasn't paying 200, 300 mil for a player.
But Chelsea would never have bought him if we were the only club in for Havertz. There was no other club at that time that could afford
Bayern and Real Madrid
Bayern were in for him.
They just couldn't.
They just had to wait. They just had to wait.
Him, but they wanted him to wait 1 more year, and he didn't want to wait a year. Chelsea struck. That's how. That's how they like their business being. That's how they do business. Now with Haaland, it didn't suit them, right? Not saying that they can't break the bank. They probably could have broken the bank, but they thought, well, we can get Lukaku at 100 million.
We should have signed Jonathan David.
Oh, we'll get him. It's a cheaper option, and Tuchel gets a striker.
No,
problem solved.
My problem,
but they're not looking at how Tuchel plays, what player profile he likes, what age he likes. All these things, they don't give a shit. They just went and bought the player, and that's the problem I have with them. When I say they haven't backed Tuchel, that's why they haven't backed Tuchel, because Tuchel, you can see he's levels above managers that we've had. I mean, I'll put him on par with like the Mourinho and the Ancelottis. I'll put him in that bracket.
Yeah, Johnny, hold on. I need to, because this is the point I want to make. I think this is a perfect time for Chelsea to change direction. Tuchel is like one of a generational.
I don't think he'll be here for too long, though.
But this is a chance. Tuchel is one of those top managers. If we don't back him, is that we're gonna keep struggling to find managers.
No, but should I tell you this thing?
Tuchel, hold on, let me finish, bro. Tuchel is like a perfect balance between everything we've had. Like, it's like a perfect fit for him.
Correct.
And all we have to do is just like, he just wants to focus on coaching. And if we just provide him with what he wants, which I think we are capable of,
you can build a dynasty.
Yeah,
like
we can.
Klopp
Yeah.
And like
this is if you have him for 4 years, if you give him what he wants, he can build that. He can build a mini dynasty, but he can also have the building blocks in place that you bring the next guy in, and it's just continued success.
Yeah, you've got a philosophy built in.
People forget how young our team is.
And he can work. He works with the academy. Look what he's done with Chalobah.
Obviously, it's slightly different because this is a company run. These are company run teams. But look at the way Salzburg, Leipzig, even New York Red Bulls to a lesser extent. Look at the way they are run. It's a constant influx of managers. They always look for the same qualities in managers, so that theoretically speaking, the next guy comes in and it's just a continuation of what was gone previously.
But like that's why
the same sort of thing where we move one guy out.
They have a self-sustaining model.
Let's say 4 years. At the end of those 4 years, he leaves either to take a sabbatical or just because he wants a new challenge or whatever, and we get the next guy in, whoever that may be, and there might be a slight adjustment period, but then it's continuation of what we've already done.
To back that, an example would be Pep leaving, and then they go and get Ten Hag from Ajax.
Yes, exactly.
Right? But Chelsea don't do that. What they do is they sack the manager that's building philosophy, and then they go and get a manager that's completely different.
Yeah. So you have to restart. You have to do.
And you have to restart every time.
But that's why I feel like Tuchel's playing it smart by not trying to step him in any toes. Because like with Lampard, it was because they gave him 250 million, they had to sack him. With Tuchel, no matter how unless you get finished like sixth, but like no matter how bad he does, within reason, he shouldn't get sacked because he's not like requesting the world here, and he's not been given the world either.
Going back to the Haaland thing, as you guys mentioned, though, he might leave in a couple of years. How do we know if
he's leaving this summer? He's absolutely leaving.
No, I mean if he joined Chelsea. But how do we know if he joined Chelsea this summer, then he wouldn't experience the same issues Lukaku's experiencing, and then he would have done it, and that would even cause him to leave earlier. I don't see how
that's what we always say.
He would have experienced the exact same things Lukaku has experienced this season so far.
I think
he would have experienced the exact same thing.
But the thing is, I agree with your point. But the thing is, like with Lukaku, we didn't sign. If he doesn't do well this season, we signed. Hold on. We signed him on a 5-year deal, so we can expect progression over time, even though he's older. With Haaland, you're guaranteed some element of progression.
He's young.
Exactly. So over the course of his contract, he would reach the levels.
But how do we know he's going to stay all 5 years? He's young. He's
listen. You've seen Haaland. He's breaking records in Champions League. He's doing it on the biggest stage, whether he plays in Bundesliga or not. You're buying into a striker.
Do you know
Haaland the most attractive striker in world football right now? I can't name you another striker at that age doing what he's doing, and you bring him in. And he will stay with you for 3-4 years. But in those 3-4 years, you know what he's going to do. He's going to go and he will bag you goals.
But if
he's a goal scorer.
Johnny, you know Haaland's only scored 2 goals outside the Champions League group stages.
And people like Haaland, I guess. Listen. I guess I know Haaland, like he's quality, he's great. People gotta understand that necessarily Europe doesn't translate into the Premier League.
We didn't need a striker.
When you play in even on like Champions League, after the group stages, you're really gonna play teams that can't and park the bus against you. So all these players do well in space. Werner would look way better if he had space. But in Premier League, as playing as Chelsea and the club we are, most of the teams are going to camp
Yeah,
it
but
in.
Xavi, this kid, yeah, he plays for a dead Norway team and he's bagging goals, bruv. He's a machine.
his goals.
He's a goal scorer. He is a goal scorer, Johnny. But I think our team.
You know,
But I think our team, though, like the way we play.
It's not even that. The issue has been already spoken about. There is no guarantee if he came in. In fact, I can guarantee what I'm about to say. He would have the exact same issues Lukaku is having.
No, I agree with you.
I don't think he does.
No, but hold on.
Oh, he definitely does. He definitely.
His longest period of time he went without goal scoring in the last couple of years was 7 games, I think. Last year.
That's about
that entire time.
Sancho.
No, but I agree with you.
That was without service. That entire time he went without service from Sancho.
Yeah,
because Sancho was injured.
Listen, but that's all well and good. But the difference is, Haaland is significantly younger than Lukaku, so he has like he can improve.
But
he will struggle at first. I agree with you, but he will drastically improve.
Yeah, but any player coming from another league, no, very rare is it that player, regardless how much they cost, it's very rare that they join the Premier League team that they go to and they hit the ground running. It's very rare. Every player needs at least 6 months, at least.
We're not saying that Haaland will.
Bruno Fernandes is the only player I've seen in a long time come midway through a season and hit the ground running.
Aubameyang.
Well, yeah, but look at him now. I mean, he's
but that wasn't an argument because you look at Bruno Fernandes now. Bruno Fernandes, actually not even now. Bruno Fernandes has always been an average footballer. He just had the goals and assists.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
Yes, it is true. He's an average footballer. He's an average footballer. But his goals and assists mask that.
No, he's a clever positional player, and he takes risks. He's got a good shot on him, and he takes penalties.
He is a stat padder. Nothing more, nothing less.
Goals in games. He's not clever, and he's not got any positional awareness.
Goals. No, I think he is. I think he gets into positions to score the goals he scores.
He's a number 10 and plays as a striker. He's not got positional awareness. He's a number 10 and can't play between the lines and plays as a striker. He's not got positional awareness.
If he was a good player, he would not be playing in the Portuguese league at 20.
Scott, I think he struggles with teams that have structure. The thing about Man U is they put, like, when he was playing, he had like the free roam to go anywhere he wanted on the pitch. I think it's going to change with Ragnick.
From Gowans to Link.
He just had
I'll put
anywhere to play.
We won't go for a lot longer.
But the thing is that,
oh, sorry. I was going to say, Paul Jr. says in Lampard's interview on the overlap, he said Marino, Roman, and Bruce Spark would have certain players' minds. They would consult the coach and check, but Roman has the final say on what players to sign. Because I'm sure Roman leaves that to the board. Actually, I don't think it's Roman making.
No, it's not Roman. It's not Roman.
I think
he has his favorite. He has his favorite say once, but that's rare. He doesn't always pick in and say, "I want this player. I want that player." That only happens sometimes.
The thing that gets me is that we all know that he loves Haaland, like he loves strikers and he loves Haaland. So for me, I'm a bit like, I don't get it because knowing the way Roman is and he loves Chelsea and he loves a striker. Like, look what he did with Torres. That Ancelotti didn't want Torres and he went and bought Torres because he loves Torres as a striker. I'm shocked at why he hasn't gone for him because it's not like we ain't got the money. We've got the money for him.
It's because from a business sense it doesn't make sense.
Wait, are you talking about for Haaland, right?
Yeah,
the reason why we didn't get Haaland because Dortmund didn't want to sell him. They thought they would generate more money by qualifying for the Champions League next year. That's why we didn't get.
No, that was a big factor. Dortmund not wanting to sell it is a big factor for sure.
Remember what the guy said? Like, if a crazy man gives 200 million, we have to sell him because they're not going to make that through Champions League.
Yeah.
So that's why they kept raising the amount. They kept going from 125 to 150.
Well, yeah, I think Chelsea offered 150. And then Dortmund said 200. Chelsea offered near, and then they were like, "No, we want this." And they just kept going up and up and up.
They didn't want to sell him. They didn't want to sell him.
But what I'm saying is, why panic buy? Like, you don't need to panic buy.
Because I think they came out and said that we're not doing that anymore. Like the whole Antonio Conte thing, where you just give him scrubs to make him happy. Like they said they weren't going to do that.
Exactly. Conte wanted Lukaku. They gave him Morata, bro. It doesn't make sense to me. They're spending big money. But they're buying the wrong profile players for the manager in charge. And it's, you know, you get found out and we're losing money all the
One
time.
player that would have fit our system, Jonathan David.
Mm-hmm. I think anybody that isn't a robust block of wood would do well in our system. Like, so, like,
and the problem is, in 2-3
the money
years,
for Haaland was so
Chelsea are
large
gonna
that
be
it would
looking
never
for
be a
another
net gain.
striker, bruv.
Reggie Fort says the money for Haaland was so large it would never be a net gain. Transfer plus agent fee plus massive contract. That's the whole reason why I didn't want him. He costs way too much. He wouldn't stay for long.
He's a better player, though.
Yeah, but
He's
Lewis,
what?
he's going to cost in excess of 250 now anyway.
No, he
He's
won't.
going to cost that. The clause is nothing.
Lewis, I agree with you. Lewis, I didn't want to pay the money for him, but what I did want was for us to hold off for a year to go and contest for it this year, where it would be.
He wouldn't have come this year with all the amount of other clubs that are interested.
No, don't shit on us like that.
If Chelsea
No,
don't
there
win
was
the
other
Premiership
options.
title, he's
Madrid will come in next year.
Oh,
Bayern
Madrid
will come in next year.
Okay,
PSG will come in next year.
He wants to go Premiership though, bruv.
Madrid won
And he'll go.
How do we know that as a guarantee?
Because I've spoken to a family friend of his that lives in the same village, and his dad's best friends with Erling
Are you
Haaland's
talking about
dad.
that Andreas guy on Twitter, man? He knows nothing, man.
No, not Andreas. Not Andreas. It's someone else. But he's low key. And he left
If we
us.
signed Haaland, we would have had the same problems.
He
We'd still
left
have
us
the
in
same
the lurch.
creativity problems.
Jem will vouch for me, bruv. But he left us the week where Jan said it's this week or nothing for Haaland. He disappeared off every social platform, and we had no contact with him. Right now, he said this is his words, not mine. He said that Haaland's next move, his dream is, he's got two main dreams. The first dream is to play in the Premiership, and the second dream is to play for Real Madrid. His next move wants to be the Premier League. He wants to play in the Premier League. So I know if Chelsea don't go in for him, the only other club that is prepared to pay that sort of money and has the capability is Manchester City, plus the affiliation with his dad and Manchester City. And that's where it'll go. The only way it sways away from that is that Pep will be leaving. So that's where I'm a bit like, is he going to go when Pep leaves?
The thing is, one, Raiola hates Pep, and two, like the only places that that Haaland realistically would have gone is either Bayern Munich as a replacement for Lewandowski, or to some team in the Premier League.
Bayern won't pay his wages.
Or yeah,
He'll go Madrid.
It would have been.
Yeah, it's going Madrid.
Would they want Mbappe? So why did they get both? Like
You could have fit both into a team.
I know you can, but real debt and all that. No.
Why do you think they're going after Rudiger? They're trying to be smart. They might get
No,
Pogba.
Real Madrid won't go for. They won't get Haaland.
Real Madrid
They're going to go
wouldn't have gone for Haaland. It would have been either us or United.
Real Madrid can't get Mbappe on Haaland.
Yeah, they can.
They can't.
As of a month's time, Mbappe can go for free.
Yeah,
but it's the wages, the wage cap.
Yeah, they can't get both. And Pogba.
Bro, if Real Madrid are offering Rudiger 300 to 400k, you think they can't offer Haaland the same amount of money?
No, but even still, that's by the by.
They can't get Pogba, Mbappe, and Haaland the same window.
Yes, they can. Trust me.
What, all for 400 grand a week?
They
How
can't.
did PSG? What about PSG when they sent all those free agents on those wages?
I was going to say they've got Alaba on 400k a week as well. They absolutely can sign.
They give Alaba 20-30 million signing bonus.
They can do free agents. I know that, but like outright fees, no way.
Yeah, but
all I'm saying is when Haaland goes to City, right?
He's not going.
Which is very likely he'll go City. I think everyone's going to see, and Chelsea, the board themselves, they're going to get so stung. It's ridiculous. It's going to be exactly like Aguero, bruv. I'm telling you, he's going to go and break. He's going to score 30 goals a season.
Different
and
team.
Manchester City are going to dominate, and Chelsea are going to go fuck.
They provide,
and we're going to be looking for a striker in 2-3 years, 2.5 years. And we'll be back on it again.
They should
wasting
not have
money.
signed Lukaku. They should not have signed Lukaku.
We should have signed Lukaku.
We should have not signed Lukaku.
It took us out. It realistically takes us out of the running for Haaland, and now we're just left with a log of wood. Like,
so what if we didn't sign anyone?
Haaland would have gone in 3 years anyway. It don't mean shit.
Yeah, but he would have won the title.
What would we have won? Look at what we could have won. We would have won.
I'm curious.
What would have been the difference?
Well, we should have developed Kai Havertz as a false nine.
He's never going to.
Fair enough on that. Like, I agree with Kai Havertz.
I agree with that as well.
Like that. But we're gonna do Lukaku.
But then we gotta have patience
longer.
again.
The only problem with Lukaku is that we haven't adapted into the squad yet because of how late we brought him in the
It was a panic buy.
He was a
He wasn't a panic buy. He should have been our first. He should have been our first move. I don't know why we were dicking around with Haaland.
Lewis, he wasn't our first move because he's not good enough to play like in our system.
He's more than good enough to play.
No,
he just
he's
came
not.
too late, so
Yes, he
tactically he
is.
hasn't been fit with the rest of our squad.
Yeah,
Listen, Lewis, he was a panic buy. Come on.
So were you guys saying this? Were you guys saying this at the beginning of the season when he was scoring goals?
Yes, I was. Yes, I
Was
was.
he saying it?
When he was listen, like,
I doubt that.
I can give you a play-by-play of my.
Chavi, you know me, bro. I've said it from day one.
I know Johnny.
Johnny
I know
said
you're
from-
too.
said
I know
from
it's
day,
Johnny.
I
I
can
know
give you
you're
a play-by-play of my emotions. Leading up to the transfer, I was like, please don't. When we signed him, I was just like, oh, okay, at least we have a striker. That was it. But then now I'm like, every game after game after game, I've just been proven more and more right. He's just not good enough to play for our team. He's not.
I wouldn't say it like that. He is good enough. We either have to adjust to his play or he needs to adjust. I think it's going to be harder for him to adjust to our play, honestly.
But that's the problem.
Like I don't get how like you guys don't even give this guy a chance though. You guys don't even give this guy a chance.
No. Here's the thing: we can adjust to him, but like we can adjust him at the expense of everybody else, or we can adjust to us at the expense of himself. I'm taking the latter.
How about a little bit of both?
If you adjust to Lukaku, I look at the first half against Zenit, and he's doing things that we're asking him to do. Everything he's been criticised to do.
Scott,
there was no.
You have to think of it like this. If you adjust to Lukaku, you have to
Hang on,
sacrifice
I'm confused now. I'm confused. So we complain when he doesn't.
No,
when
bro,
he-
you're wrong.
No,
You're just
hang on,
wrong.
no. We complain when he doesn't do enough in terms of the moving or the pressing.
Yeah, he
or
never
anything.
does that. He never does
But
that.
then- No, but then when he does it, it's
When does he do it? When does he do it?
So
No, but what it is, hold on, what it is, Scott, is that when he doesn't do that and he's scoring goals, there's no problem with that because he's scoring the goals. But the problem is he wasn't doing that and he wasn't scoring enough goals. That's where the problem
Scott, should I
No,
tell you what the
but
problem
issue
is?
the issue. No. So here's the thing with Lukaku.
Lukaku is not good enough for Chelsea.
No, listen. Like no matter what we ask, what's it called? We ask Lukaku to do whether he does it.
So
or
is
not,
Werner good
it's
enough for
never,
Chelsea?
ever going to be to the level that we need. His pressing is useless. You might as well not to do it.
Our main problem is creativity. It's not the strikers. It's creativity.
That's the main problem.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't create chances. We don't create enough clear.
Big up Monster and Jam. Come on.
We're focusing on Lukaku.
When Lukaku's not in our team, we
create
create more than enough chances.
No, we don't.
chances.
We have-
What happened Man
No,
United?
but then we
What
have
happened
no one
against
that's
Man United?
clinical. So
What happened
Listen,
against Man United?
I'll
Mount's
be real,
clinical,
Scott, you're just
Havertz
too
clinical.
technical for this to work.
no, they're
No,
not.
Yes, they are.
Mount
Havertz is
went
clinical.
27 games or whatever. It was about scoring. You're telling me he's
Mount's a
clinical.
clutch
No, he's
player.
not.
He's a clutch player. He's not.
Listen.
I have a
he's
question
not-
though.
he's not
Like
gonna bang 25
how you guys
clinical
so
when they're
patient with
not.
Werner though? I want to know that.
No.
Reggie
Werner
Phillips
out.
saying, I remember when
Werner out, bro.
28 goal
Werner out.
Werner was a sure bet. That's the same thing.
And then-
Bundesliga tax is
No,
hefty,
listen,
my guy.
Listen, Werner
And
needs
then,
to go.
but
No one's
yeah,
beefing
no,
with
but you guys saying, you guys saying, oh,
What
we
happened
should have
against
developed
Burnley? The
Havertz.
clinical.
Hold on, Frank. You guys saying we should have developed Havertz, right, as a false nine. Havertz is also inconsistent, so we're gonna have the same
No, he's
problem.
not. He's
No,
not.
Yes, he
and that's
is.
why-
No, he's not.
Listen,
Oh,
listen,
Jesus
hold on.
Christ.
Let me
This
take
guy-
this.
How is Havertz
this
not
guy has-
inconsistent?
This guy has
Let
a
me take this.
reputation of starting the first half of the season slowly and being a second half of the season player. He has a reputation that has come from Germany
But
about
that's why.
being the player, and we're
Did
seeing
you
it now.
Did you not hear the question? To develop Havertz.
Exactly.
So we
Yeah,
can
but
find
they-
out
they-
that
But we're not a developing club. What are we gonna wait? Drop
No, we're not,
points?
bro. But okay, but that's not what we're taking this as.
These
We're
man
taking
just
this
want
as-
a new shiny toy, bro. And that's all they care about.
Exactly. We don't want to be the team where we every 3 years is slashing 100 million on the new striker for. It doesn't work like that. Remember what I said earlier.
I get well soon, Monster, as well.
If we get good football players,
Big up,
we
Monster.
don't need to worry about adjusting him this, adjusting him that. If players are just good, then we don't have to worry. Lukaku is a log, and he needs to be in a system where logs are tolerated. In Chelsea, they're not.
No, he's a counter-attacking
Look,
player.
how did he score against Villa? How was that being a log?
That was a counter attack play.
Okay, so
So what is your definition of a log? What is your definition of a log?
My lack of pressing, lack of movement, or maybe,
Lack of movement.
Okay, hold on.
No,
Let me not-
All right, so lack of movement.
Okay,
Most of
let me
his
not-
goals
let-
came off of movement. You know
let
that,
me
right?
let me
That
not
he
let me
got
not
here.
say lack of. Let me not say lack of because that's a bit too harsh. But not to the level. It's not to the level. His movement is not like Werner's movement is what we need. The only issue is his finishing. Lukaku has the finishing, but he doesn't get in the position because of his lack of movement. And it's
Or
just,
do we not
what I
find
would
him?
say,
Do we
I'd
not
say,
pick him out?
Shabby, what
Wait,
I'd
shall I
say
tell you why he has a
is
lack of movement?
hold on,
Because we didn't create enough chances
what
for
I'd
him.
say, yeah. No, stop saying we
does
don't
that even
create
make
chances. We
sense?
do
Does that
create
even make sense?
chances.
We
We
do
don't.
create
We don't.
chances. What is this
The bottom line is, bruv, yeah, 100 million
We don't create
striker,
chances.
whoever it is, 100 million striker,
have
a
to
goal
perform
return of
every game.
3 goals in the Premiership and 2 goals in the Champions League is nowhere near up to the level that
Fact.
Lukaku should be at.
And the
But
issue,
look at the
Lukaku-
appearances he's
Lukaku-
made.
no,
Johnny,
okay,
Look at the
let me-
appearances he's made, though.
Regardless,
He went 7 games without a goal.
he should be hitting
Hold on,
double
but let me
figures
hold
now.
on. Let me say this. The thing with Lukaku, like what people are gonna say, we don't create enough chances for him, and that is 100%. I 100% agree with that.
This is cap. This is cap.
No, for him, because I remember the Liverpool game where guys just aren't passing him the ball, and
Liverpool, we had 10 men for the whole 45 minutes.
Havertz and Werner can create their own chances. Lukaku.
But then you forgetting that Lukaku created a chance for Mount that game, right?
Yeah, in the first half of the Liverpool
one game? Wow.
We should have.
No, he creates multiple. He in that Tottenham game created like a good 2 chances for Werner. What are you guys? What are you saying?
In the Tottenham game,
The Southampton game, he created a chance for
How many
Werner.
assists
Like
has he got
you
in the
guys are mad
Premiership?
overcritical.
How many assists has he got?
No.
This is not on him, though. This is not on him.
He hasn't got assists, has he?
But look who's missing the chances. Your boy Mount missing the chances. Werner missing the chances.
When it was Mount didn't have a lot of assists. No. When it was last season, Mount didn't have a lot of assists. It was the players aren't finishing the chances. But when it's Lukaku, it's he hasn't got enough assists.
I can't even count them on one hand, bruv.
What about Mount assists last season?
Lukaku's been there for 10 games. What do you expect? 50
I mean,
assists?
Johnny, Mount messed up a good 2 Lukaku
standards,
assists.
man.
I
It's
mean,
not with his double
Lukaku
standards.
assists. You know that, right?
Timo Werner robbed Mount at 16. There's a difference.
But I'm just
there,
saying,
bruv.
you're saying he doesn't assist, but it's not.
with his
If they're not
assists,
if they're not finishing, how can you blame him?
Listen, if we go to the end of the season,
just stop this
if
double
we go to
standard.
the end of the
Are you
season,
crazy?
Lukaku's got 16 goals. Are you happy with that, bruv?
Just stop this double standards, man. That's all I'm asking.
No. Listen,
Are you, if we got a striker for 100 million, forget it's Lukaku, and he gives you a goal return of 16, 17 goals, are you happy?
Wait, Jem, stop waffling. Werner's shit.
I mean,
the reason why
if you look at the past year, Jorginho had 7 goals and is our top goal scorer.
Yeah, but we weren't competing for the league, were we?
The reason why I'm so
I mean, we fell off because of Lampard.
Lukaku is because
we were never going to compete for the league last season.
For the play that we need an element of inevitability. I just don't see that with Lukaku. You can get Lukaku, like as an opposition coach, you can get Lukaku out of the game because
this is the thing. This is the thing with young players. You can mold them.
I'd rather
you can enhance them. Lukaku's an old dog. You can't teach old dogs new tricks. He's a finished article striker.
Exactly.
You either support him and build your team around him, or you don't buy him at all. That's my
Facts.
And for the signing of Lukaku, we would need to change our entire
build around him. Clearly,
our whole
doesn't want to do it.
Our whole system, our entire front line. Because
like I could understand if this criticism came when Lukaku has extensive run of game, doesn't have injuries, not integrating the team fast. But when it comes to Lukaku, it's so harsh criticism straight off the bat.
Yeah,
but with other players, let's wait.
Bruv, the reason I give him criticism is because he's 28 in his prime. He's played in the Premiership for 7 seasons, consecutive seasons. He's played in the Premiership. He knows the league.
But look how long he's been out. He's human, bro. Hold on. If you're not playing in a certain league for a good 2-3 years, and you think you're just gonna automatically readapt just straight off the bat?
No.
That's retarded.
He scored 30 goals. It's a crap league. It's a dead league.
Bro, Italian league is way different from the Prem. So you just expect
it's a slower. You act
like he wasn't. He didn't. You act like he didn't come and was scoring goals. Like he was scoring goals. He went on a run. You waited till he went on that run when he wasn't scoring to start attacking him.
No. I'm
telling you my stance on him, bro. How I feel personally, that I don't give a player who's experienced and in their prime that much leeway, and he's only scored 5 goals so far.
Johnny, but this is my count. That's my count. That's fine. This is my counter argument, though.
Chevy, if Lukaku comes and scores 20 goals this season. I'm happy, bruv.
I'm
I'm more
happy,
than
bro.
happy, bruv.
No, let me
I'm
explain something.
just going to say, I'm so glad.
Reggie
I'm
Fort
so glad
says he
that
has yet.
YouTube and social media and all this shit wasn't around when Drogba was a striker, because I'm looking at his goal stats for us and they're fucking shit some seasons. So I'm
Yeah,
glad.
trust.
So
Reggie Fort says he has less minutes than Chalobah. Reactionary John.
24, Scott. Drogba was 24 from the French league. He's never played a Premiership game in his life.
Best ever.
Sure.
No, let's not talk about goal tallies in a first season when we're what? Halfway through a season.
Let me watch my Drogba compilations and
We're halfway through a
now.
season.
No, because like,
Drogba come from Marseille,
Let
bruv.
me finish my point, man.
Don't compare Drogba to Lukaku, please. Put some
Shut up.
respect.
Let me finish my point. He
Let
was
him
our,
finish. Let him
he is
land.
our
Let him
best
land.
ever striker. That's a fairly unanimous thought. And his first season for us in the league, he got 10 goals.
Age difference. Think about the age difference.
Drogba was 24
Drogba
years
came
old
late.
from a French third
Drogba came
league.
late.
Never
He
played
never
the
played the
Premiership
his
league
life.
ever.
Never played
And
the his life.
Lukaku is completely different
Hold
period of
on.
career.
Hold on. Let's do it one at a time, please.
In his
Like,
first
Stop
5
shouting over each other.
seasons with us, his first 5 seasons, he got 20 plus goals once. So I don't want to hear this nonsense.
Yeah,
in
but
the
he
first
also
season of a half this season about a guy who-
complimented Frank Lampard.
Scott,
things,
no, Scott. That's entirely different. Because like with Drogba, there were other people there that were contributing. When we signed Lukaku to be the guy,
The main person.
Exactly. We signed, Lukaku is meant to be the guy to break the numbers
Facts.
down, to that waffle. And the fact of the matter is, like Johnny said, if he finishes this season with 15 goals, it's
I'm
not
happy.
good enough.
It depends
That's
what
not
you're
good
happy.
enough. You're happy.
But it's not just on him, though. It's not just
I
on
know
him.
it's not just on him. We need to create more chances. But the whole
Yeah,
thing.
if we win the league,
Hold on. No. You went on your rant. With no matter what, we spent 100 million pounds on the striker not to get 50 million goals. I guarantee you could have squeezed that out of Havertz if you tried. We signed Lukaku to be the guy, and the whole notion pre-season was we create enough chances. We just need the guy to finish. We signed Lukaku. He's still not doing that. So I don't know why you want to move the goalpost now and try to bring in Drogba. Don't tarnish Drogba's name.
All I'm hearing is,
Our problem is the creators as well. That's the problem.
Not the creators. It's not the creators.
No, because
I agree.
wait,
Wait.
because we complained last season that it wasn't just Werner's shocking finishing; it was that we weren't making enough quality chances. We had chance creation, more chance creation.
I didn't hear that. I heard
that.
I heard last season.
It was just finishing.
No. There was a lot more talk about the finishing because the level of misses that Timo Werner had, but there was also conversations about the poor chance creation.
It wasn't just Timo Werner. It was Mount missing chances. It was Havertz missing chances. All of them. It was just Werner that got highlighted. All of them.
We've barely created clear cut.
Hold on. But the notion was
We're comparing 21-year-olds, bruv.
Exactly.
Young.
You play for Chelsea.
They're young kids, man.
The notion was if you bring in a world-class striker, we're gonna be banging that.
Are we Arsenal?
Right, and as soon as we got that world-class striker in, the creativity was not there. Mount had a poor start to the season. Havertz had a poor start to the season. Ziyech had a poor start to the season.
How did he affect Kovacic? Kovacic had 5 assists.
Whether you like it or not.
How's that affecting creativity?
You know what's mad?
I said last season
the best game we had.
One at a time.
Do you know what's mad? The best game we had with Lukaku in the team is when we actually created for him, and that was the Arsenal game.
No, it wasn't.
Arsenal were terrible. Don't do that. That Arsenal team, bro. Don't.
It was the Norwich game. What you
still got to
So wait. Look at this is where the double standards apply because we didn't.
No, it's not double standards. It's not double standards.
It is because
with Lukaku,
look at Norwich, bro.
The best game we've had with him is the Arsenal game, and funnily enough, that's the game where we created for him.
No, I agree.
Who you got on your side? Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. You got to build the team around them.
I agree.
Kovacic is a big miss. You guys are excluding Kovacic.
No, I agree.
Abby's making a fair point here.
Yeah,
Kovacic, you're saying creativity.
Reece James, we had Mount and Havertz playing and Lukaku hasn't always played with like our two full wing backs and like Mount with him. He hasn't always had that. I agree with that. But the try is just like when you're just seeing what he's contributing to the games that when we need him, it's just simply
there's not enough fluidity, is there?
Exactly.
But look at that. Look at that game look at that Arsenal game. He was
No, but that's
directly
his
involved
first.
in both those goals, and Kovacic was
bro,
there
that
as well.
Arsenal team.
No, Shabby, in that Arsenal game, Lukaku was an outlet. So every time Jorginho, Kovacic got the ball, they could play a direct ball to Lukaku. He holds it up and pings it to a Mount or a.
But look at the second goal he scored though. He didn't put
doing that now.
But look at the second score.
Nah.
He did that dummy
Look
pass.
at both of them. It came from Kovacic into Reece James.
And even still, I don't want to be too harsh.
Stop this bias,
he was
man.
up against
And Reece
Pablo
James
Mari.
got the assist for the goal.
He was up
Bro,
against
like
Pablo
I don't
Mari.
have a problem if Lukaku if you guys are criticizing him when he has a consistent run of game, he's fully match fit and he's not
Shabby,
scoring.
he didn't score for 7 games before he got injured.
Let me just tell you the goalkeepers. Let me just tell you the goalkeepers Lukaku scored against.
So I want to know what the
Zenit
goalkeepers.
goalkeepers.
This is pure agenda at this point.
Yeah, no. Again, are we going to have this double standards? Because we're talking about like other players on our team that have scored, and we're talking about Norwich that have been good. And like I said, so say Lukaku comes out of the team. So I've seen someone notice this. Who's being clinical? Who's the one scoring the goals?
He's got goals everywhere, Scott.
Mount went 27 goals without scoring, and you bring up the goalkeeper point. The game he broke his duck in was the Norwich game against Tim Krul. So this is my point. The double standards.
I'm not defending Arsenal's crap.
It's not about that.
I'm not defending Mount.
But you're not getting our point. The standards are not, and the criteria you're not judging.
But Lukaku's team was so limited. The standards are always going to be higher for Lukaku. He's 100 million. He's 28.
First of all, that doesn't mean you just come in and fit into any system in the world. Like, you feel me? And then that's not our fault. We had to. First of all, we had to get a striker. First of all, we had to get a striker.
We didn't.
Yes, we did. We needed a striker, bro.
We did.
We didn't. Because
we needed a striker. Are you serious?
You should have built it around Kai Havertz.
Exactly,
bro. We're gonna wait half a season to wait till Kai Havertz starts scoring. You guys want
Kai
fourth,
Havertz
don't
is
you?
young.
No.
You guys want fourth. You guys want fourth, don't you?
There's no point bringing in a Lukaku who's gonna start.
You understand that Lukaku is one of the reasons why the early season we maintained why we're being in this position we're in now, right? He saved us a lot of those games.
Lukaku saved us against he saved us against.
He lost us to Juventus game.
He saved us against Arsenal. He did not lose us no Juventus game. We played crap, bro. How did we lose?
He missed that easy sitter.
He missed that easy side.
One chance. One chance.
Without him. This is my point. Like, you guys want to criticize like for the misses against Juve and this, that, and the other. He saved us against Zenit. He scored
and Villa. We created nothing against Villa.
No.
Like,
he saved us Zenit and Villa.
Like, it's not fair, bro. I just want y'all to be fair.
But the thing is, like, you guys aren't hearing my point. Like, I'm talking about like the fact of creating chances and him taking it. There are so many games that he's played, and I'm just looking at him like, please do anything, something. And
it's Friday and Saturday, Sunday. What? It's Friday.
I've got a question because
the lads changed doing the moaning. Man, you guys moan like bitches watching you, man. It's fucking funny.
It's not moaning. Shush. Like, someone's gonna be wrong, someone's gonna be right. It's a debate.
I've got a question. You've brought up the money and the fact he's 28 or whatever he is and 100 million. If we'd have bought Haaland, would you be giving him the same shit?
Haaland would be double digits, bro.
I mean, no. I would still give him shit because he's still like a world-class striker. But at least I would have something to fall back on, the fact that maybe I could put it down to age and adjust to. No. We'd have spent double what we spent on Lukaku on Haaland. So I don't want to hear this age. If we're spending stop that.
Then I want him to score.
Stop that. When we paid that money.
What do you mean stop that? I'm not paying 200 million.
Let me explain. Part of the reason we spend the money is mainly for potential. Kai Havertz is not a 70 million pound player, but
for potential.
Lukaku is shit.
This is what we are now.
Havertz is a 170 million player, but we bought him for the potential.
You buy into potential,
you buy into potential. That's what we would have had with
you're buying a finished article.
Sooner or later,
I can't lie.
You need to buy someone that's going to affect the here and now. Because in 3 years, or not even 3 years, in half a year, Tuchel might not be here if this potential shit doesn't work out.
Haaland.
But that's what we signed. That's relevant. We signed. The money that was put down at the time was based on a bit of here and now and potential for Havertz. Lukaku is purely here and now because he's not 24, he's 28, and it's not his first time in the league; it's his second. So like, stop shifting the goalposts.
Guys, you do know we were arguing well too early about this Lukaku thing. It's getting stupid now. Like,
We
I
are.
get it. He should be scoring.
He's
but
dead,
this is
man.
so
He's dead
early.
food.
Like, to be
He's
doing
dead
this.
food. He's dead food.
That's my
Dead
point,
food.
Jam. That's
No,
all. That's what I'm
Even
asking.
I'm not
Jam,
even a big
Jam,
Lukaku fan, but even
Jam,
I'm sticking
no,
beside
Jam.
him. Do you know what I mean? Like, giving him the time to
Let
show
me-
us
let-
because we get
That's all I'm asking, Jam. That's
Like,
all I'm
the
asking
reason-
is
the reason why-
time
the
and
reason why we're
like
debating is
context to
that-
the situation. You know what I mean?
It would be,
Yeah,
it would
exactly.
be, it's literally like we signed a player that he was all of our second choices except for Lewis, and now
And
that
this
he's
is the
not-
reason why you guys go so hard. It's really because of that.
No,
Like,
yeah,
in all
that
fair
is
honesty.
true. That is true. But like, I just feel like, but to be honest, like, the one thing that he's even surprising me how bad he is how bad he actually fits into our system. We're going to have to shift everybody to accommodate him. That's the one thing that I didn't expect.
That means a formation change, and Tuchel's not going to do
Not
it.
even a formation change, a personnel change. Like we're gonna have to, because like we all knew our front line. was
Wouldn't we
younger.
have to do the same for Haaland though?
No.
Big up Timo's
Hold
client.
on. Like we all knew that.
What players you gonna
These man are
sacrifice
just
for
chatting
Hold on,
Lukaku?
shit, man.
can I finish?
Time out. What's going on here? I smell.
Well, if you listen, you will have known.
You gonna sacrifice Kai Havertz for Lukaku?
We all knew that our front line was young and inexperienced, and then we signed. So then, if we signed a Haaland, even if he didn't like hit the ground running, which he probably wouldn't have, we all would have known that he would have grown with our attack, or with our young attackers. He would have grown in age because they're all the similar age bracket. Lukaku is so much older that it's like we can't just expect Mount to be like turn into fucking Beckham and start whipping the balls for him. We can't just expect we can't just expect Werner to turn into R9 just because Lukaku's like you can't force growth.
There's no chemistry there.
Johnny, just before you go, Reggie Fort says, yeah, it's Lukaku's fault. Mount's crossing was bad. It's not just on Mount either, to be honest. Also says both Haaland and
Nothing
Lukaku are
on Mount,
guaranteed to never be a net gain financially. I'd rather risk it with a guy that's at least played in the league, and also the guy who's probably going to stay at the club for longer as well. Because, like I said, Haaland is gone in 3 years if he comes to us.
Bring back Bambi, man.
Tammy. Oh no! You said the key word. Sorry, I'm not.
Lewis, can I just disagree with you on that? Because if when you say he will stay at the club longer, if Haaland joined and signed a 5-year contract, he has to stay with a 5-year contract. Lukaku has signed a 5-year contract.
There was meant to be a get out clause in his contract.
Oh yeah,
that's what
you're
he
right.
wanted.
You're right. Yeah.
He would have gone in 3 years. That's why it's not worth it for all the money that we were going to spend.
You're right.
The way I see it, we've spent on Lukaku. He's here now. We need to be patient and we need to encourage him.
Exactly.
He's here.
I
He
agree
just
with you.
came
We need to be
too late.
patient.
That's what my problem is. We got him 2 days
He
before
was a
the
panic
start.
buy. That's why.
No.
Werner doesn't score in like how long, and you have to make a song for him. Like.
Leave Werner alone, man.
Yeah, leave Werner alone.
Werner's
Wait,
shit.
Leave him alone.
Werner's shit.
We would have all wanted Haaland, but
Doesn't deliver this season. He's gone as well.
Werner's dead
Gentlemen,
bro.
please stop stinking up the place, because this place already stinks with your stinky agenda.
Werner's going to be our top goal scorer for the Leeds game. How does that feel?
Get out my club. Get out my
Werner's
club.
going to be the top goal scorer of this Leeds game.
If you want to say,
goals,
hold
he's
on,
going to be
if you want to say,
Werner, top goal
man.
scorer for
okay,
Chelsea.
cool.
You got some
All in the bud.
unwanted stinky agenda from this place. Come on, man.
Okay, hold on, let me just say one thing. So if we're agreeing
Let's have
to
it
give,
right.
hold on, if we're agreeing to give Lukaku time and saying that, okay, so we're just gonna accept that. So what we're seeing from Lukaku is acceptable. Are we all gonna say that this is acceptable? What we're seeing from Lukaku?
In terms of goal output, no,
goals.
it's not necessarily all on him.
Because if you want to say that it's acceptable, then
No
the
one
fact
said
of
it's
the matter is-
acceptable. Why do you keep going with the same
I was going to say
It's not acceptable, but
It was the third of the
it's
season.
not.
Okay,
But it's
cool.
like you guys are coming with this agenda like
if
right
we're
now.
having
Like,
this
It's no
discussion,
agenda.
yes, it is. If we're having
No,
this
it's not.
discussion
Winter
next
Surfer,
year, if we're having this same discussion next year, then I can hear this. But we're like what? He's had what, a third of a season? If you take
It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
just like we were
He's
getting.
had a
The
third
W
of a
don't like
season.
it.
You're focusing too much
No,
on the
I will-
output when it's
I
not
will
on
be
him.
honest.
You need
I
to
will
look
be
at the
honest.
context. Look at the
Right.
context behind why he has these numbers. The creators haven't been good enough. He's been
Hey, whose
brought
fault
in
is it?
too
Whose
late,
fault
and
is
he
it?
hasn't
Whose
been
fault
able
is
to
it?
link in tactically with the rest of the squad.
Whose fault is
We
it, man?
need context.
Whose
Well,
fault is it, man?
Oh, so
I
there's
look
no
at,
excuses
I look
for
more at the
Werner, but we
board
have
for
excuses
focusing
for
too
Lukaku.
much on Erling Haaland when it was an
Werner's dead,
feasible deal
except
to
Johnny.
make.
That's my thing,
That's very
Jem.
fair.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Werner goes. This is not agenda, Fatah. I'm just using him as a reference point. He goes all these games without a goal. We're here.
Vernon
backing
shit.
him.
Vernon
We're
shit.
saying, but
Vernon
listen,
shit.
can you listen to the
Nobody
point?
wants
Listen to
Vernon
the point.
shit.
Hey, let him
Listen
land.
to
Let
the
him land.
point.
Let him
Listen to the
land. Let him
point.
land.
We
is
get
just
behind.
awful.
Can you
Top
listen?
goal scorer.
Let him
You're
land.
not listening to the point, man. Listen and hear before you judge.
All right, go on.
I'm
Then,
saying
go on.
No
Werner.
rates Werner here.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
let him land. Let him
Mute
land.
them, man.
Relax,
We're
man.
saying
This is not stadium.
we're saying
Right,
we're
Shabby,
saying
go. Shabby, go.
we're saying Werner wasn't scoring. We're still getting behind him. We're still supporting him. We're still making songs and making sure, knowing that we're behind him and supporting him. Lukaku's
I'm not behind him.
Bro, come on, my
Bro,
God.
let him
Bro,
finish,
who are
man.
you
Let him
talking about?
finish.
This affects none of us here.
Yeah,
No,
Lewis, mute these guys, man.
Right, go for it. What are you saying?
And I'm about to finish it. Lukaku
Yeah,
is
go for
here,
it.
and he's not like his. If you look at his goals to game ratio, it's like pretty good for what he's doing. But I understand he needs to score more goals. But let's like support him. Like let's not like slander him and get behind. Like the same standards has to apply for Werner that it does to Lukaku. You get me? That's all I'm asking is just to be fair.
All right, cool. All right, now we can get back to it.
I-
Reggie
I-
Ford
that's-
also said second option equals panic buy, and also these lot formed an opinion on 691 minutes already. I didn't even know it was that
That
little
standard
minutes.
won't
It's
apply
not
on
just
Werner
that.
after
It's not
Saturday
just
when he
that.
becomes our top
It's
goal
not just
scorer.
that.
So just saying, removing
When
him.
we signed him, the whole
Werner's dead, man.
Hold
He's
on,
gonna
the
be
whole
our top goal scorer soon. Just
the
relax.
whole propaganda with the whole Lukaku signing was he's changed, he's different because of this time in Italy. Antonio Conte has saved his career, and he's coming back, and I'm just seeing the Timberland boot Lukaku still. just a slimmer version. I'm seeing a slimmer version of a Timberland boot. Like,
I can't say
how he
nothing about
plays,
it.
and that's what I'm criticizing. That's what I'm criticizing him on. Like, don't get me wrong. If he's like, like if he starts going on a mad run, I'll be like, all right, cool, fair enough. You're doing your thing, but I'm still seeing Tim's. Why am I still seeing Tim's when I
Bro, but guy has no technical ability. He can't
Hey,
deal
these
with the
guys
ball.
are trolling at this point.
It's because also tactically we ain't using him the right way. We play him like he's Giroud.
Yeah, no, and
Right, why is he just being asked to drop deep and hold up the ball when he can do so much?
That's why I said earlier. That's why I said earlier. For us to accommodate him, we're going to have to change the personnel up top.
Even if Haaland comes, we're not creating chances for Haaland.
No, but like,
Haaland will move.
Haaland will
move.
You're not hearing what
He
I'm
makes his
saying.
own chances.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. Like,
No, he doesn't. That's cut,
Yeah,
man.
he does actually.
No. So when you said that we're not using him right, I agree with you. But the fact of the matter is, we weren't going to, regardless of who. Even if we got Haaland, would have struggled. But at least we would have known that we could grow with him. With Lukaku, we don't have the personnel to support him. He's going to have to play like a Giroud because that's the only way it works.
Wait, do we have the personnel for Haaland then?
No, we don't. But I'm saying that with Haaland, he has an age on his side.
So it's not Haaland and it's not Lukaku, then it's the other players' fault. So
You
why
can't
why
blame Mount Hamlet. You can't blame the other players.
No, but I'm not talking about blaming. This is a striker debate we're having. No one's talking about the other players. What I'm saying is,
Yeah, but you have to take them into account.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Redneck says,
Listen, very quickly, yeah.
That's the longest period he's ever got in his career, I think. Where
Exactly. What's your point then?
For him.
One second,
So
bro.
it does come down to other players.
Do you want to know what my point is? My point is we shouldn't have signed him because
You won the Champions League
So who are we meant to sign then?
It wasn't going to work because of the personnel we have up top.
We should have developed Havertz.
We should have developed. Yes, exactly. That's my point. It was not worth spending the money on Lukaku when it's no matter regardless, it wasn't going to work. It was always going to fail.
Listen.
Wait, Havertz has 5 Premier League goals in 1.5 seasons in the Prem, yeah?
Buying Romelu Lukaku, right? It was a second choice. We bought him, yeah. Granted, you give him till the end of the season, all right. At the end of the day, I do feel that him and Kai Havertz is a bit of a problem. I think Kai Havertz is better in the 9 position, and then that's either Lukaku or Havertz you're playing. That's the problem I got. But let's say it and let's have it right. When I'm at the bridge, I'm fucking chanting his name like fucking crazy, yeah. I'm backing that player when I'm in the bridge. All right, I will criticise him when I want to criticise him, and that's all I got to say on the matter. I hope he scores 20 goals. I hope he scores 20 goals, bruv. I really do. I want him to because we can win a title. But that's it, bruv. End of. I'm out
Guys,
of here.
have we ever just got to the point where we actually just realised that we're just maybe just shit with strikers? Like, has anyone just thought that Chelsea we're just cursed?
I don't think there's any striker that will ever do well at Chelsea. I just feel like we're cursed.
Maybe we should just blame it on the Chelsea judge. Just keep it like that.
He won't do anything in this team.
Yeah, you would.
No, he won't.
No, he wouldn't.
I just think that we're just done. Like, no matter what, it's just not going to work.
Oh yeah, bring him
Like,
back.
get-
9 goals to Roma.
Get
this
Mbappe,
season.
sorry,
this
get
guy
Mbappe playing against low
he
blocks,
was
10 men
Patrick
behind the ball, and
Vieira.
he ain't doing shit. I don't want to
Would
hear
he-
this Mbappe talk.
Reggie Fort says he has 100 less minutes than Alonso, for fuck's sake. He's rotted, but that's like just 190 minutes.
That's just one game.
Yeah, that's just about one match. But the point still stands. He hasn't had a lot of game time this season to really judge him so far. Who's popped in? Oh, yes, Daniel. What are you saying?
Here he goes. I love Lukaku. He's my favourite. Don't be out.
Shut up. I'm making that fucking
You
weird
weren't
ass
having
voice.
none of that.
Yeah, what's
You know
wrong
what?
with
You
this
should have
guy,
heard Daniel
man?
singing Timo yesterday on my channel. I've got it saved. Timo. You would never have thought it.
You gotta encourage little kids, you know. You know when you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
kids in the
yeah.
bus,
Go
you
on.
gotta clap them up. Doing a good job. And I just came to say this, man. When what's that guy's name for Liverpool? Their striker who always scores random. No.
Origi.
Origi can score a hat trick. He's not starting the next game. It doesn't fucking matter. All right. So I don't care about no 2 goals. He's not starting the next game. All right.
Very
I don't
much.
care how
Thank you
clutch
very much.
I don't care about none of that. He's not a
Thank you
starting
very
player.
much.
He should not be
He
starting
scored 2
player.
goals. He scored 2 goals. So we have to start.
Who gives a shit?
Fuck up.
Exactly, man.
Who
Werner,
gives a
so
shit?
what?
No one is saying he can't play,
That-
but we have to have a consistent. Listen, we have to have a consistent front line, not changing. If one player scores a goal this game, they start the next game. Oh, you
Try to
score
get out.
this game, you start the
Dan,
next
I think-
game. Oh,
I
you
can't
scored
lie.
this. It's
I think our
disjointed.
situation is a bit different to Liverpool's. I think our situation is a bit different from Liverpool's when we really don't have the quality in terms of attacking talent that they do.
It's Werner quality.
Werner, listen, we know Werner's quality. He's not quality.
He's not.
So
He's
him
not.
getting
I'm
2
not saying
goals
he
here,
is,
or
but I'm not
if
saying he
Shaqiri
is.
gets, a couple goals here and there, he's not starting. Fam.
We
It doesn't
haven't
matter.
got we
Who
haven't
cares?
got players on the level of a Salah and a Mane to be going right. You can sit on the bench because these players are better than you. When you've got Cho, who hasn't been great the last couple games. When
Cho,
He gave us 37 games, bro. Let's be honest. He gave us 37 games. You know what we get.
Is his finishing.
He got to hold that bench, bro.
You guys
For
get
me,
behind the
if you're
wrong
playing the
players.
2 up top, it's Havertz and Lukaku.
He's
That's it.
holding it.
You guys always get behind the wrong players. Like, what's his name? Hudson-Odoi has been the highest chance creator. You want to sack him up.
That's cap as well.
But Werner, who misses chance after chance after chance after chance.
But I like him. I like him.
Timo, you like him. Lock it off, man.
That's cap. That's cap. I like Cho. I think he should start, but he's not the highest chance creator. Stop lying, man.
He is.
Lewis, you
No.
better clean
He
this
is.
place up because
No.
Yeah, he has.
Ain't no cleaning up.
Chances
He has
created.
the-
But your hat.
I'm just
listen,
watching.
your
I'm
hat
just watching a
is
Hazard
Saturday,
goal
and we
comp
didn't even
personally,
win
but
because
who knew?
his
He has a
strike
similar
was
That sounds like
random
fun,
goals.
man. I might do that as well.
He has a.
Yeah, I've
I
gone
know
through
for sure.
Drogba and
Yeah, I'm
Diego
on
Costa
to you. Take those
already.
glasses off.
Oh, they go through Lampard next, man.
Bro,
those glasses
Fabregas
off.
is
Yeah,
bad.
Them Baba.
Do a Werner one or something. I
They really took him off. My G. Stop talking
Right.
about
Timo's
it.
going to be our top
Still
goal
leave
scorer
it.
soon anyway.
That's max,
So
man.
we'll
we'll
Still
be
stick
alright.
anyway, but yeah. Go on.
Right, did everyone get all the heat out of their system now?
Yeah.
I ain't even
Come on.
started yet.
Werner, get out
Go
my
on,
club.
Jeb. Go on, Jeb. Fuck it.
I ate Lukaku, I ate Mount, I ate Christensen, I ate Mendy, I ate all of them. They're poo. They're not Chelsea quality. We're not
Yeah,
going to win
fuck
the league.
them. Get out
We're
my
crap.
club.
Werner is the best striker in the world.
Shut up. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's white.
You had to did it. You had to did it. You were doing so
Oh
well.
my days.
You were doing so well.
Yes.
There you
Back
go.
is
There's
back.
my opinion.
Yo,
Feel better now.
Lewis, kick Jam before you end the stream. I know you're about to end the stream, but still, out of principle, kick him first and then end the stream.
Listen, hey,
Tebow,
Lewis, if he
Tebow,
becomes Lewis,
Tebow.
if he becomes
That
the
was
top
Werner
goal
plays
scorer,
against us.
Lewis, if
Werner
he
plays
becomes the top
against
goal
us.
scorer, I want a nice
Here we
picture
go.
of
Here
Werner
comes the
that you keep
grasshopper.
bringing up like you do with Bitchinson and Mount. I want a nice picture of Werner popping up all the time just to show you
I
our
want to
top
see.
goal
I
scorers.
want to
to
see
remind
Hudson.
What a
Odoi.
Werner
I wanna see-
penitentiary because we
Yeah.
did have that in the past.
Yeah, bring it back, man. If we
Bring
need
it
top
back.
goal
Hudson
scorers like
Odoi,
Daniel,
man.
come and see that picture every day.
Hey, do you guys remember what happened last time he played Leeds?
Yeah, I know exactly what happened.
Why
What
are you wishing
happened?
bad on our players, man? These genders stink, man. What is wrong with you guys?
I'm sorry.
You're out of order.
It's no agendas, but it's dead.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I feel better now.
I battered. Defend your client, man.
He can't because he's dead.
He can't.
I was
He
hoping,
can't.
I was hoping for some clean environment.
defend it.
There's no
not at the
defense.
moment.
There's no
You
defense.
can't defend that. There's no minerals for that.
After the United game, man's blazed it into the fans. You want to defend that? No
Do you
way.
thought that he was Do I feel that he was skilled in the United game? No. Why would I say that?
What was he going to get Zenit?
There's no defense. The only thing you can say, he had a good game against Zenit.
He wasn't going to get Zenit.
No, he wasn't. That's the
He
thing.
wasn't against Zenit.
He
Wow,
wasn't. He wasn't.
wallahi.
If you actually,
He was one of our better players, but like
No,
we
he
were
was.
so bad at one save.
No, he was. He was.
No, he was, but like we all didn't play well. It's just
His
not like
overall play was shocking.
He's had better performances than that and got less goals.
he has had better performances, but if we're talking about the Zenit game in itself, he was one of our better players. I don't know how much it means because we were all still poor, but he was one of our better players.
Yeah.
He was
I think that's the
bad
most
luck.
reasonable way of looking at it.
If he's getting good to you, man, he's doing his job. I like him.
Yeah, leave him alone.
No, I won't.
Yeah, well.
Psych.
There it is.
Get out my club.
The day he leaves, I would
There
dance.
it is. That's the penitentiary, right?
Come
there.
on,
Back
G,
it
that's
out.
what I
Get
wanna
Lewandowski
see.
out. What is this? What is this, man?
That is fucking
It up!
That is fucking beautiful. Look at that. Mbappe.
That is
disgraceful.
That
Can you
is
put
disgraceful.
Daniel in there as well?
Can you
Put
add
Daniel
Jem
in there.
and
Put W in there as well. Throw them all
Church in
in there.
this? Can you
Put
add them in
behind
the
that
back of
person.
this?
The one
Who?
player you should have in there,
Jem?
you don't, Messi. Where's
Jem.
Messi in there?
Yeah.
What
I
about
think it can be arranged.
Can I have it
I need you to-
Messi?
I need you to put Jem in this penitentiary with him.
No, I'll just put you in the Werner penitentiary, mate. Watch when he becomes top goal scorer.
Top goal scorer.
What, with 7 goals?
Top goal scorer, bro. What are you saying? You wanted him to score goals. Now he's scoring goals. You're moaning.
He's
Come
not
on,
scoring
man.
goals.
What are you
If
saying?
he's top goal scorer, we're not making out the mud, bro.
Come
We're
on,
not
eat
making
your
out the mud.
Man said this is the view from inside the cell. I can't be asked.
Next time, shut your mouth.
What a comment.
Oh, fucking hell.
Bitchinson should be in them prisons anyway. What the hell's he not in there after his two performances? Stinkers.
You must be out your mind, man. He's been
Oh,
like
I got
Lukaku behind bars.
Oh, can you imagine Lukaku behind bars?
Roman.
The Danish Maldini.
Switch, put him in there with him, and put me at the top holding the Champions League.
Put Lukaku in
Oh,
there.
no, only one of them's held it.
Log off.
Maldini, you already know.
Why is Van Dijk in the prison?
Why not?
Why have you put them in there? He's not even. Has he
Put
even
Ramos
played
in there. Put Ramos in there.
He ain't played Marquinhos, has he? Why is he even? Why is Marquinhos?
Because he's clear.
Oh my god, you make me feel sick, man.
Put Gabriel there.
Gabriel, man, he ain't even worth the effort to put him in. Disrespect of even having their names together. But yeah, anyone got anything else they need to drop, or are we just gonna end the stream here?
Lewis,
Get Werner out of my team.
Chelsea's
Get
bigger than
W off
Arsenal.
this stream, man.
Nah, get Werner out of my club.
He don't like any
Yeah,
strikers, W. I realise he don't like Lukaku. He don't like Werner.
Oh my god.
The fact the biggest thing we need to realize is that we're stuck with Lukaku and there's nothing we can do about it.
We are not stuck with Werner. There's something we can still do about Werner.
We're stuck with Lukaku.
Yeah, we could do something. We could do
97
something about
million,
Werner.
and Werner's going to be our top goal scorer. Wasting money.
We could do something about Werner.
I loan Werner. Petition to loan Werner.
To where?
Anywhere.
Out of space.
Fucking no.
You guys,
for Oscar.
hold on,
Bring
you
back
guys still
Oscar.
want Haaland, right? If you want Haaland, then just sell Werner and get Haaland.
Bring back
No,
Oscar.
man's not coming. Chelsea. He's already. Raiola come out today and said City buying. Who else?
No,
Did he say? Real Madrid.
it's not Werner that's holding up Haaland, it's Lukaku.
Send Werner to China and get Oscar back.
Yeah, bring back
Keep
Werner.
Werner and just get rid of everyone else. Get a new team.
Oh my goodness.
That's what we need to do.
Or
But first,
you
we need to
can
get rid of
support
Bitchinson.
Brentford.
Need
'cause
better
that's
defence
who you want
at
us
the
to
back.
be.
Lewis, you better clean this up, man. Like,
No.
Then we can sell
Minerals.
because he's not Chelsea.
We're
material.
joking, but number 11.
Yes, Jamie, I'm actually gonna be at the game tomorrow, so don't worry. I
Minerals.
actually will be at the match.
Okay, was going to go.
Score
but I can't
predictions. Score predictions.
Jem, you're not coming, Jem.
now. I could have got a ticket yesterday, and I just went.
Well, there's laws in exchange.
He saw that knew that Leeds fans are gonna be there, and he
I
got
realised
shook.
that Christensen is playing at the
Who's
back,
watching
and I said, I don't
Spider-Man
want to
next
put
week?
myself through that pain, man. So I'd rather just watch it on TV.
Yo, leave Christensen alone, man.
Don't lie, man. It's because you know the Leeds fans are gonna be there, and you're a bit worried.
What time
It
is the game?
fine.
What time is the game?
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yes, let's fight those.
Let's have it right. Werner hat trick.
Let's have it right.
Let's have it right. Werner
Let's fight
in
those
5
slugs,
goals.
man.
Let's have it
Right,
right.
well.
Werner, get out of my
It's
class.
not saying I hate more
Can't
than
stand
let's
them.
have it right. I hate
Werner had to come in, man. But if he doesn't score, at
That
least
you're
Werner
right,
gets a
Ronnie.
hat
I like
trick
his
is peak
confidence.
for all of you, man. Still,
No, it's not.
if
yes, it is.
No, it's not.
If Werner ever gets a hat trick in Chelsea colours, I will come up here and you guys can all stone me.
What are you going to do when Timo Werner finishes the end of the season as top goal scorer?
He probably will
No,
get a hat trick.
it will be a false reflection.
What are you all going to say then?
Let's bet.
You're all going to look like fools in the mud.
I'll cry.
We're not in the mud.
But wait, why wouldn't you be happy if Timo Werner gets a hat trick?
Exactly.
Most likely we probably
Exactly.
win the game.
That's what I'm saying.
Chelsea.
Let me make this clear. Timo Werner is our top goal scorer.
No, obviously I'll be happy, but you can stone me for saying
You're not
shit.
winning nothing, bro. I'm sorry. I have to be honest. I have to be honest. You can't be top goal scorer with 7 goals. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Werner will probably be our top goal scorer because he plays.
He won't. He won't.
There's no way he's also going to be our top
If he
goal
gets
scorer.
game time, he will score goals.
He got game time last
He's gonna
season.
score.
He'll
He's
probably
not
get
even
more
last
Lukaku,
season.
man. Relax yourself. Don't even get into this.
He'll probably play more.
Right,
games than
I'm gonna end the stream here. Big up everyone that's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button.
Come on.
We will be back
Werner,
on
get out my club, please.
Monday.
Timo.
I will leave
Man, end the
you.
stream, please.
We will leave you with the Mount Rushmore of Chelsea Football Club. Take care, like and subscribe, and as always,
Love it.
up the fucking
Up the
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Up the Chelsea.
Bitching some bitch. Get him out of here.
Damn.